Actually, here. Born here. Raised here.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start with our meeting this evening. Okay. For those of you on Zoom, just so you know, the meeting is being recorded. I'm going to start by reading some withdrawals. So not all the items that were originally on the calendar are going to appear tonight. If this item is withdrawn, it just means it won't be coming back in the future. But for the moment, it's not going to be here tonight. So number 1, Sauce Grocer, 47 2nd Avenue, has withdrawn. Number 5, Doors Restaurant, 40 Avenue B has withdrawn. Number 6, Rain, 49 Monroe Street has withdrawn. Number 7, Sesh Comedy at 55 Christie has withdrawn. Number 11, Waypoint Cafe at 109 Ludlow has withdrawn. Number 13, Lucy's at 135 Avenue A has withdrawn. Number 17, 9th Ward at 180 2nd Avenue has withdrawn. Number 20, Phoebes, has actually been moved to administratively approved because it is essentially a corporate change. Number 21, Tramps Like Us has withdrawn. It's 412 to 414 East 9th Street. So with the exception of number 20, Phoebes, all of those other items may be heard at a later date. Please watch the calendar. So I'm going to go ahead and start by taking roll call of the members. Sarah Bachu. Present. Michael Lavario. Present. John Bell. Present. Stephen Ballinger. Present. And Guillermo Sabicchia. Present. So that being said, for those, well, we're going to start off. I'm going to make a small announcement here that's mostly geared toward the applicants, or not necessarily the current applicants, but some attorneys that may be listening in here representing clients. We've been having a big problem with a lot of the questionnaires not being completed correctly, not being submitted, and petitions not being submitted on time, and it's causing a huge strain on all of us, on me, on the office, on just trying to get the information on residents. So we're gonna move, I think, the deadline for petitions to the Wednesday prior to the meeting instead of Friday. And you know, it's just, that's a minor change, but otherwise, we're gonna give you basically one opportunity. If they're not submitted on time, I think the office will email you once. If we haven't heard from you, we're not gonna chase you down, we're not gonna follow up. You'll be just denied for an incomplete submittal package. So it's just become too much of a strain on all of us. So if anyone has any questions, you all know how to reach us, please let me know. And I think Susan has a tiny bit to offer this.
Yeah, so can't tell you how frustrating. I got no work done this afternoon, nor my Ed, and most of you know, because all we were doing was following up. So when questionnaires are due, if you can't get it in on time, and I'm talking to you, but it's not you, it's all the people on Zoom. So if you can't get it in on time, email us and say, I can't get it in today, can I get it in tomorrow? Then we'll all know and don't waste time. We will do one round of, hey, it was due yesterday, and that's it. And if you don't do it, you're off the agenda. We do sometimes 3 and 4 times, and we just should not be spending our time that way. We have people living on the street we need to be working with. There's just a lot of other things on a community board. And today, petitions were due Friday at noon. So today, Clint sent out an email, and some people sent in their petitions 2 minutes later. So you have them, but you didn't send them in. I'm gonna say, you guys get paid a lot to do your jobs. Please don't make us do them. Please, because we don't want to take anyone off. We want everything to run smoothly. If you let us know if you have a problem, we'll work with you. Just don't ghost us. Thank you.
Okay. So also, for those of you who've been attending our meetings, we have implemented an expedited process where if there's items that are very simple, it's essentially a changeover. They're keeping the same stipulations as the previous business. There have been no complaints. There's no opposition. We're hearing those items first and moving through it pretty quickly. So I think tonight there are 2 items that we're going to take using the expedited method, and the first one is going to be number 9, which is 72 Seabow Restaurant Corporation at 72 Clinton Street. I don't think they're here in person. So could you please could the applicant and your representative please raise your Zoom hand and we will promote you? No, Robbie's the lawyer. Robbie, is your applicant here for this item?
Okay, let me get video going on.
I think Robbie, you're new. He's with you, so it makes it even easier. So Robbie, I think this is the first time you've been here since we've done this. So basically, I don't even give the standard summary. If it's a situation like your applicant where everything's staying the same, it's very simple. I don't need to read through all those details in history. I'll just give a 2 little summary, and then you'll add anything that's noteworthy or you feel you need to add, and then we'll go quickly through the stipulations and you'll be on your way.
Okay.
Okay. So just for this item, this applicant has owned this restaurant for about 40 years. They did previously have a beer and wine that expired in, I think it was 2017. There's been no complaints. They've been a kind of a beloved institution in that neighborhood. We've had no complaints or comments from anyone from the public about this item. So unless anyone here on the committee has any questions, they're keeping their same hours, which is 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. every day. It's a full restaurant. It's always been a full restaurant. They're just now adding full liquor, upgrading for beer and wine after many years of operation. So, is that anything noteworthy to add, Robbie?
I think we're not going for full liquor. We're going for beer and wine. So that should be even more of a
Well,
Yeah.
it would have administrative.
Actually,
The reason it wasn't administratively done is because we're not agreeing to close before midnight.
Yeah, but let me see, I thought on your application, on your question, or I thought even on your application, it was checked off as.
Well, that might have been a mistake because definitely going for beer and wine.
So just in for beer and wine.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep, okay, then that makes it even simpler. So any committee members have any questions about this? Okay, just make sure that there's no one from the public here to speak to this item. Please raise your Zoom hand quickly. Okay, we're just gonna throw the stipulations up on the screen, Robbie, and we're gonna read through those just so you can confirm those, and we'll be on our way. Yeah, I apologize for that. It does say in your application. I just somewhere misread that as full of P.
I'm looking for the screen.
No, we're just getting it up. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right.
You just share it on the screen. You'll see it just momentarily. Can you just bump that up a tiny bit? Yeah. Okay. So it's I, William Agramonte, as a qualified representative of 72 Seabow Restaurant Corporation, located at 72 Clinton Street, agrees to the following stipulations, and we need to change that to
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So my license type is a wine and beer. I will operate a full service. And I mean, do you consider I know you listed like the type of food you serve, but is Latin restaurant, is that enough? Or, okay.
That's fair. That's what it is.
Full service Latin restaurant, with kitchen and open serving food during all hours. The hours of operation will be 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. all days. I will close all outdoor dining allowed under the temporary restaurant program or any other uses by 10 p.m. and not have speakers or monitors outside. You didn't check up anything. You don't need you don't need security. You don't need soundproofing. You'll have a closed fixed facade. You will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events. Any event which a cover fee is charged for scheduled performances. You'll play ambient background approved music only. Will not apply for an alteration without coming to CB3. Will not participate in pub crawls, will not have unlimited drink specials, including boozy brunches with food, will have a happy hour that will end by 8 o'clock p.m., will not have wait lines, will have a staff person for ensuring no loitering, will post a stipulation beside the license, and residents may contact the owner manager at the number below, and it's William Agramonte, and it's 347-673-3283. Is everything on there accurate as to your, okay. Okay, that being said, we're gonna move to a committee vote on this item. I'm just gonna start with Stephen Ballinger,
Yes.
Guillermo,
Yes.
Sarah Bachu.
Yes.
Clint Smeltzer, yes. Michael Lavario. Yes. And John Bell.
Yes.
Okay. So the resolution with stipulations passed. You know the drill, Robbie. We'll be sending out the stipulations to your office, get them back with the date, and we'll be set.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much for your time. Okay, the next item, oh yeah, it's even listed on the agenda. I apologize, I don't know where I got, okay, it was listed on the agenda as one of your two.
Yeah.
That was the last minute thing this afternoon, I was trying.
Yeah, I was like, no, I have beer on it.
Yes, you did. Anyways, the next one we're gonna do as an expedited item is number 10, Party and Healthy at 103 First Avenue. If the applicant or the representative is here, please raise your Zoom hand.
You know, the reference.
Okay, hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, how are you all?
Hello. Is your lawyer or your representative here? Oh, is it Aaron Pierce?
Yes, it is Aaron Pierce.
You just raised his Zoom hand, so we'll
Promoting.
add him to the. So again, as you heard, I'm going to give a quick little summary. This application is replacing the former Cities 5 at this location, which was in operation for about 3 years since 2021. They are keeping the same stipulations. They're going to be a full restaurant serving farm-to-table food. Their hours are 11 a.m. Monday to Friday, closing by 10 a.m. on Saturdays and Sunday, 12 a.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturday.
Yes, correct.
They're again, same stipulations as before, background music, and they are not using any outdoor space for commercial use. I think the one thing, I did have one question. You had underneath your facade that you had both boxes checked off. It was either I will have a closed fixed facade or I will close all doors and windows by 10 p.m. I think the window is currently open. Are you keeping an open facade?
No,
So it'll be a closed fixed facade that will not be operable and will not open?
the facade is the glass door. It will maybe be open during the day, but not after 10 p.m. in order to abide by the New York City hour laws.
You don't have any open windows at all, and it's just a fixed glass, okay. So then we'll uncheck, we're gonna uncheck the section that says I will close any doors and windows, it'll just be I will have a closed fixed facade.
And close the door.
And the door will close by 10, like you said.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, perfect. So again, because they're keeping the exact same stipulations as the previous location and there's been no issues, we're expediting this item. Does anyone have any questions? So I see someone from the public. Any committee members have any questions first before they go to the public? Okay, someone from the public raised their hand. Michael, if you could promote them.
Hello.
Hello, I think C is your name.
Yes.
Are you here to speak to 103 First Avenue?
I just logged in and I'm here to speak about the Pier 36 basketball city event.
Not yet.
Okay, that item's gonna be heard later, so we're gonna move you back to the attendees, and when that item comes up, we will ask you to raise your Zoom hand and we'll promote everyone at that point. Okay, so I don't think there's anyone else here for 103 First Avenue. So we're gonna go ahead and put the stipulations up, which is essentially what you listed in your application, just to confirm before we finalize everything.
Okay.
Can you just bump that a tiny little bit? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and it's apologies if I mispronounced your first name. Is it Andanelise?
Yes, correct, actually.
Denise Rosario. And you didn't have a corporate name listed. Have you formed your corporation yet?
Yes, it is called Olive Branch Hospitality Group.
Okay, Olive Branch Hospitality Group, located at 103 First Avenue, agrees to the following stipulations. My license will be a full liquor license. We'll operate a full-service restaurant, specifically a farm-to-table restaurant with a kitchen open and serving food during all hours of operation. The hours of operation will be 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. Sunday. I will not use outdoor space for commercial use. You don't need security, you're not having soundproofing, it's already existing. You will have a closed fixed facade with built-in doors and windows, except the entrance doors will close by 10 p.m. You will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events, any event which a cover fee is charged, or scheduled performances. You will play ambient recorded background music. You will not apply for an alteration without coming to CV3. You will not participate in pub crawls or party buses. You will not have unlimited drink specials, including brunches. You will have a happy hour which will end by 6 p.m. You will not have wait lines outside. You will have a staff person for ensuring no loitering. And you will post these stipulations beside your liquor license. Residents may contact the owner at the number below, and it's End in Elise Rosario, and it's 201-375-1226.
Correct, yes.
Everything correct on there? Okay. So that being said, we're going to move to a committee vote. Stephen Ballinger?
Yes.
Guillermo?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Clint Smeltzer, yes. Michael?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Okay. So the motion passes. The office will be sending out your stipulations to your representative, your attorney or representative, and it will have instructions on when to get those returned back to the office.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so those were the two items that were really going to be simple. We could get out of the way first. We are now going to move on
Oh,
to. Okay. Can you switch over the attendees for a second to the list? It seems like. Okay, if you're here for item number 19, Basketball City, 299 South Street, could you please raise your Zoom hand?
So you're
Trevor's here.
So Joe.
And Josie. Okay. So I think because there seems to be a decent amount of people here for that, we're going to take that item next. Where does this go? Okay, so the applicants are all here in person.
Does anyone want a physical packet?
Does anyone want physical packets? Does anyone not have a chance to look through it?
Like, never got to physical packets.
You know,
Oh, this isn't back at the desk. I didn't realize it was back there. Okay, so give me just 1 second to bring up the summary. Okay, so we're going to move back to our regular format. So I'm going to read through a little more of a detailed summary of what's going to happen. We're going to allow the applicants to have a chance to add or clarify anything, and then we'll move on to public comments and move on to our committee for discussion. So, first out there in Basketball City, New York LLC, doing business as Basketball City. They're seeking a full on-premises liquor license for the premises located at Pier 36, which is 299 South Street, New York, New York. It's an application for an establishment, and we're not sure of exactly what they're proposing. The entire building certificate of occupancy is for 3,100 people. They're listing 4 tables and 16 seats with 2 couches, operating as a recreational facility with a cafe, hosting private events and exhibits, with a food prep area serving food during all hours of operation, using ambient recorded background music. There are no full on-premises licenses within 500 feet per the land map. But this applicant, which is Great Performances / Artists as Waitresses Inc., has operated more than 28 other locations in New York City with full on-premises liquor licenses. Basketball City submitted a Pier 36 traffic observation study and will follow with the recommendations that were given. Basketball City has also received several letters of support, including from the Two Bridges Neighborhood Council, Two Bridges Tower Resident Association, and Henry Street Settlement in favor of this application. They are proposing hours of Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 10 a.m., And with private events, exhibits, it would be Sundays through Wednesdays closing at midnight and Thursdays through Saturdays closing at 1 a.m. They are not proposing any outdoor space. They will employ security during private events, 1 for every 75 patrons. They're not applying for any alterations without coming forward CD3, no happy hours, and will not have pub crawls, no unlimited drink specials, etc. So that's the brief summary, kind of what we pulled from the application. We're going to give the applicants a chance to elaborate on that a little bit.
Thank you, Clay.
But before, can you handle
Working?
You won't hear it.
You won't hear it. Okay. Zoom, well, can hear me.
Right.
Hopefully that's better. Okay. Thank you, Clint. My name is Phil Dorn. Next to me is Eleanor Schotten. We are attorneys with Pizetsky and Bookman. We represent the applicants. To my left is Jen Elliott, and to her left is Mindy Birnbaum. They are part of the Great Performances team that will act as the food and beverage operator of the space. And to Mindy's left is Bruce Radler, who is the owner and founder of Basketball City. We are here before you today because Basketball City is applying for a liquor license. That might sound scary, but it's really not. For years, Basketball City has been hosting events such as trade shows, art exhibits, corporate parties, installations, you name it. And for all those years, they have had to apply for what are called one-day event permits through the State Liquor Authority, and they've done so successfully all those times. However, although they've been successful in getting those one-day permits, getting them is an extreme hassle for a variety of reasons. You have to apply 15 days beforehand. The State Liquor Authority can, on a whim, deny you for no reason, and if they deny you, then you're within 15 days. So your event, which could be a massive event, just has to be canceled. So by getting a liquor license, we will be doing exactly what we have been doing, but just making it more permanent so that we don't have to worry about such scares. Basketball City is simply getting its own liquor license, but the method of operation that it has had in place for years and years is remaining the exact same. There is no new nightlife component. There is no any component that has to do with alcohol that wasn't already there. It's just a continuation of what Basketball City has already done, and they will be bringing on great performances in doing so. The majority of what Basketball City does is youth events, basketball tournaments, charity events, etc. But to be able, and scholarships, they pay for hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarship money each year. To be able to pay for such millions of dollars in scholarships, thank you, Bruce. To be able to pay for such things, for the scholarship money, for the charitable events, they need to be able to raise some funds, and hosting private events is the way they do that. Again, nothing is changing about their method of operation. They are just getting the permanent liquor license so that they can continue to host the private events that they do in order to be able to fund these extremely philanthropic endeavors that they've been doing for years. I mentioned briefly great performances, and as did you, Clint, but I just really want to highlight how great Performances is as operators. They do the food and beverage at the Plaza Hotel. They do food and beverage at Jazz at Lincoln Center. They run the food and beverage at the Brooklyn Museum near Prospect Park. I mean, top of the line establishments all throughout New York. The last couple of things I'll quickly say. I know there have been concerns at this space about traffic congestion. I also forgot to mention, sorry, we have one other person on the line. He's virtual, Tabit. He is with the group that did our traffic study. And so hopefully Tabit can hear me. he's not going to speak tonight unless someone from the committee or the public asks for his expert opinion. But Tabit and his team conducted an extensive traffic study, which was submitted in our paperwork after hearing the concerns of this community, which really center around congestion from the pickup and drop off area. Not only do we stipulate to abiding by the recommendations that were listed in the traffic study that we provided, but specifically, our plan is to double the pickup and drop off area that is currently in place. You'll see in the paperwork, there is a color-coded site plan, and it shows an existing pickup and drop off area. We then have later in the packet a proposed plan. That plan is in the works as we speak. Our architects are working with the Landmarks Commission and the design team of New York City, where we are doubling the size of the pickup and drop off area. That doubling of the pickup and drop off area is being fully funded by Bruce and his team at Basketball City, but is for the use of everyone on the pier, including the boat companies that go through there, everyone through Pier 42. So Bruce individually is taking these efforts because as much as the community doesn't like the traffic congestion, neither does Bruce, neither do we. This is not something that we want to take place. It of course has been a little bit of an issue based on the East River Park construction, but we are taking every measure that we can to try to ease that traffic burden. And then the last thing I'll mention is that we did receive a lot of support, as Clint pointed out, from Two Bridges, from the Henry Street Settlement. We received petition signatures as well. And so we really do feel that because of the fact that the status quo is not changing here, this is just an attempt to make more permanent what we've been doing for years. And in doing so, we are doing our best to fix these traffic problems. And we hope that you all are on our side and we can get an approval tonight. So we're here to take any questions.
He reminded me of one thing I did forget because it came in very last minute. We received a petition from the Gouverneur Gardens Housing Corporation signed by 73 members in opposition to this item. So we received that late this afternoon. So just one other thing that you reminded me when you said petition signatures. Okay.
What was their opposition?
They are opposed to permitting a liquor license located across the street from Gouverneur Gardens. They have been negatively impacted by the operations undertaken by Basketball City, including but not limited to public loitering, public urination, intoxication by the visitors to the area. Additionally, overall, Basketball City has demonstrated non-cooperative neighborly relations with respect to notifications to adjacent developments about upcoming events which impact local traffic and parking, while its programming and activities often create very unsafe pedestrian access to the public's waterfront.
Bruce, I will respond when it's the appropriate time.
Okay. So that being said, anything else? Does anyone else have anything else they want to add at the moment to clarify anything on your application? Okay. So then I think we will go in order. We're going to start with the members of the public. I guess we're going to start in person here because they're in the room. So we'll start with Trevor.
Sure. Do I need Mike?
Probably just for the people on Zoom, possibly.
So I'm very familiar with Basketball City, aka Pier 36. I live 2 blocks down the street on South Street, and I know I'm very familiar with Basketball City ever since it was on the west side and we called it the bubble. However, there's some issues which I hope can be addressed here, and I'll go over them because I'm aware of how these proceedings work, and I think it's important that we at least establish what stipulations we should be looking at. And that includes a redo of the traffic circle and finding out who owns that traffic circle. Right now, there are additionally tour buses that drop off in front of Pier 36, which is for the boat traffic, even though CB3 approved a transportation permit for Pike Street, where they used to drop them off. The bus operator just changed his mind, even though it went through CB3, and they're now dropping off those bus passengers in front of Pier 36. the use of their parking lot for carrying vehicles. I think that would help with traffic. A contact with, or establish some contact with DSNY, which is ironically at the same pier, for trash management and placing additional cans on that confusing intersection area of Montgomery Street, the entrance to the FDR. A commitment from the operator to have a dedicated email or a line for residents to call in case there's issues, and notifying the community board of or local residents of upcoming large events, ensuring that there are security guards at events. And the reason why I think this is important is that they do get temporary licenses, but all those operators who have this temporary license are not one company, which makes it difficult to sort of figure out where the problem is. Having one operator in this location makes it better for community residents to contact and say, okay, this is the company or these are the people we're going to deal with, as opposed to whoever manages to take on that temporary license. There is an issue with the boat traffic, a lot of issues, but that's been an issue for nearly a decade now with the boat operators. We've had several meetings, but we don't control their liquor license. They have a boat, wherever they're docked at is where they get the liquor license, which I think is unfair. And I know some state legislators have looked at it, but I think that's a bigger issue because they can pick up and drop off passengers who are inebriated in our particular area without any type of regulation. They're only controlled by where the boat is currently docked. But those are my concerns.
Okay, we'll move on to Josie.
No, he had one.
Oh, that was all, that was everything. Okay, so you don't need to speak then?
Want me to repeat everything?
No, that's the same. Yeah,
I can
yeah.
repeat everything
Nope,
all over
nope.
again.
If
and,
you're in agreement with everything,
the garbage, we can just go
Yeah.
on with this, but please,
nope, gotcha.
let's work with the community.
Okay. So I think we're gonna move on. I know there are some people here on Zoom. So please raise your Zoom hand again if you would like to speak to this item. See, I think C has her hand raised. Okay, I see a couple other people. Okay, C, we promoted you to panelist, so you can go ahead and speak. We'll give you 2 minutes. You can unmute yourself, please.
Hey, can you hear me now?
There we go. Yeah, we're good.
Perfect. So I have 3 questions. The first question is, how do you plan to ensure that all event attendees do not use our streets and lobbies as toilets? That's the first question. The second question, has Basketball City ever been denied the one-day pass? And if so, why was it denied? And third, does the doubling of the size of the pickup drop-off include people directing traffic? Because as it stands, I cannot get off at my exit, which is exit 3, because of the backlog of traffic. Thank you.
Okay, so those are your 3 questions then. Thank you very much. We're gonna go through if there's any other people to speak, and then we're gonna give the applicants a chance to respond. So I took note of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next we have someone is on a phone ending in 129. You can go ahead and let's move the phone. Stars. Okay, you can give us 1 second. If you dial *6 on your phone, you will unmute yourself and you can go ahead and speak for the phone number ending in 129. Okay, if you can't unmute yourself, I think we're gonna have to move on. We'll come back to you.
Tell them how to unmute them.
Yeah, if you press *16 on your phone, I'm sorry, *6 on your phone, you'll unmute yourself. Sorry. So we'll come back to you. We'll give you a chance to get back. So, Julio Cordova. You've been promoted. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Yes, good evening. My name is Julio. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, good evening. My name is Julio Cordova. I'm one of the resident leaders at LaGuardia Houses. And I am in full support of everything that Governor Gardens has stated with regards to the lack of cleanliness, the urination, the overwhelming of an abundance of anyone that might be intoxicated. My other fear is some of the neighboring streets surrounding Basketball City don't have proper traffic stop. I mean, they have stop signs, but nobody obeys those laws as is. So what is to stop anyone now that is inebriated? That, and I understand that once they leave the property, there still should be some type of accountability. And there is a fear that, you know, they're not going to uphold the traffic laws when they're speeding away from the property. And this is a community that's surrounded by schools and children. There has to be something to protect not only the surrounding areas, the surrounding developments and the people that are going to be affected. What is to stop anyone, or what is in what has been made to make sure that the people in these surrounding areas and developments are protected by anything that occurs in Basketball City with regards to the overflow of alcohol and the maybe overwhelming of drinking? Is there going to be a limitation on how many drinks a person can have? Or is it just going to be, you know, once you have your liquor license until there's a judgment call that the person might be too inebriated or too intoxicated? What is the practice that you'll uphold?
Okay.
And I yield.
Okay, thank you, Julio. Next we have Zoom. We're gonna promote you. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and speak. I think your username on your Zoom screen is Zoom and some characters. You could please unmute yourself and speak. Okay, I'm gonna give you a couple more seconds and we're gonna have to move on to someone else. Okay, is that the last person? Okay, so we're gonna go back to, oh, there's a couple more people that popped up, sorry.
All right, we'll go back to the 212.
So we're gonna go back to the 212, the phone number ending in 129. We've promoted you to a panelist, you can speak. To unmute yourself on the phone, press *6. There you go.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, this is Irene Allardyce, Gouverneur Gardens. You know, we are opposed to this liquor license at Basketball City because of the drunkenness and the loss of the poor tourists, because they abuse our neighborhood and they don't mean to. They're looking for ringing bells and knocking on doors, using our hallways and trying to find bathrooms, and they're vomiting on the property. There is definitely a problem with no transportation to get out of this neighborhood. So if they wanted to charge like $3 a piece for a bus for the east up for Midtown East or Midtown West, so these people can get back into the tourist area, it's fine. But you come out here in the middle of the night with the boats and everything going on, and they're lost in the neighborhood, so they start annoying everyone in the vicinity. How do I get out of here? And there's nothing running down here, after midnight. So, and we have to call the 7th precinct, and it's a big problem for us. And also, people parking on Water Street. This is not a parking lot; it's our home. They're all on the sidewalks up here.
Okay. And is that everything? And anything else to say?
No, thank you. I just wanted to make it short and sweet.
Great, perfect, thank you. We've taken your comments, we've noted your comments, thank you. Okay. Next, so we have Marilyn Passerby. Marilyn, you can go.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, okay. I'm also a resident of Gouverneur Gardens. I live a couple buildings a little bit further away from the intersection of South Street and Montgomery Street. And I guess I'm just going to sort of, just sort of go along with what other people said. But my biggest concern is really the traffic. It's it's a big problem now. And I know you have someone who will give a traffic report. And soon they will be closing Water Street, the city will, completely from Montgomery Street down to partway Jackson Street. And really the traffic's just a nightmare. And I think to have people coming in who are drinking and things is just going to be a bigger problem with the traffic. And I agree with what Irene had said about people are lost. They don't know where they're going. They don't know how to get out of here and things like that. So I guess that's my concerns with this. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Marilyn. Okay, next we have Manny Cartagena.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm also a resident, a cooperator at Gouverneur Gardens. Live very close to the Basketball City area. And I gotta say, I'm in full support of opposing it, their liquor license. Because simply the way that they're managing it, it's out of control. There are parkers on sidewalks. There's traffic issues, congestion issues, intoxication outside of the area as well, urination, and then even an ice cream truck that also in the mix of all of this happens to be right there, and they don't even ask this ice cream truck to move away. It's a nightmare. I got to tell you that every time I drive my car to get to my parking spot, I have to go through all of that mess, and it continues to happen, and you don't see anyone out there controlling it, making sure that it's safe. In fact, we even asked, my understanding is that our board had asked the local police department to assist out there and have some kind of control over the traffic because it's out of control. And not only that, you have the people that come out of the boats there, they're drunk and everything else, and there's no direction. Okay, so yeah, fine. And from Amazon, from the balloon thing that went there, all the venues that have been going on, it's out of control. The crowd is just spilling over into our community, into our buildings, and it's unacceptable. That's all I have. That's what I have to say.
Thank you, Manny. And I think Manny was the last person with their hand raised. So Susan Stetzer, our district manager, would like to speak.
Sure. So this is a really overburdened area that the city, the 7th precinct has tried their best, but the city in general has not been terribly helpful. But we're also, it's overburdened by different things. And we get complaints a lot about the traffic, which I warned Clint about. The issue is a big, venue with events, and the traffic is a real problem. And, I think Trevor talked about meeting with the community board. The 7th precinct would always have to be involved in that. I think the drunkenness, the complaints I get about that, I think those are the boats. I think that's a different thing. The ice cream truck, I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's just nothing to do with this license. So I think the issues that really need to be managed, and certainly can be managed better than they are the traffic issues. The other issues that people are talking about absolutely should be managed, but they're not by this venue.
When you put them all together, Susan.
But this application is not about putting them all together. This application, and we need to deal with each of them separately, and we should. But this application, when we go to the SLA, we can't talk about the boats. When we go to the SLA, we can't talk about an ice cream truck. But we can talk about the traffic issues caused by this venue.
Okay. So we're gonna move back to give the applicants a chance to respond to what they've heard.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone who made comments a few moments ago. Thank you, Susan, for stealing some of the words out of my mouth. I'm going to do my best to try to address most of the points we just heard. A lot was just said, so I apologize if one or two things is missed. But there was also some overlap, so hopefully what I say covers everything. In the beginning, we heard about a redo of the traffic circle that was suggested. As I mentioned in my opening remarks, that's already underway. And like I said, just to reiterate, we are doubling the size of our pickup and drop off area. I think that is a massive improvement from what's there currently. There was mention of if we could use the parking lot to assist with the pickup and drop off. That is also underway. In fact, we had an event just last week where we tried that out, and it was a successful endeavor, and we plan on continuing that in the future. So not only will the pickup and drop off area be doubled in size, but the parking lot, which is a large parking lot, will be used when needed to aid in pickup and drop off. Trash, easy. If you want us to stipulate to having trash cans outside, a certain number, that is the easiest thing I could ever agree to, and I've been doing this for a long time. Having a dedicated email, it should be in the paperwork, but if it's not, we will happily get you the email of both someone from the Basketball City side and the Great Performances side. It is our goal to be good operators, good neighbors, as we believe we have been for many years. But if anyone has any issues or complaints, we want you to come to us. We want to be able to resolve them easily and amicably. The urination thing, Susan touched on this, so I don't need to go into too much detail, but we are a basketball venue that hosts some private events. We are not the venue that is leading to people urinating. We have 36 bathrooms in our venue. We have kids coming and playing basketball, or perhaps an art installation. There is a problem with the port and with the boats and party boats and this and that. And we don't like it either, because they end up urinating on our property also. And we are working with them to try to clean that up. But as Susan mentioned, that is not us, that is them. And unfortunately, it's out of our control. But what we can control is bringing in a strong operator who is experienced in food and beverage and training their staff appropriately to not overserve, or to have quality food, and to make sure that everyone is safe and healthy and happy, and that there are clean bathrooms available for all. Someone asked a question if Basketball City had ever been denied for a one-day permit. The answer is no, they have never been denied. There was another question or request about increased personnel, both just for events in general and specifically for controlling traffic congestion outside. As we put in our questionnaire, for every 75 people during an event, we will have a dedicated staff person, dedicated security person who is there to not only just make sure people are safe, but also to ensure that people aren't loitering, to make sure that people are healthy, to make sure that traffic is flowing as best as possible. So security does not just mean inside the establishment, it means outside as well. I guess the last couple things I'll say, we speak to the 7th precinct before every single event that we have. So we are already in conversation with them at all times. We know them well. We will continue our dialogue with them. No plans to change that. I apologize if someone has a problem with an ice cream truck. We do cater to a lot of children playing basketball after school. It is not our ice cream truck. I would say we would stipulate to not having any ice cream trucks outside, but I think that would be sad for the children, so I'm not going to suggest that unless it really is a massive problem. And the last thing I'll say is that at the end of the day, I think I've said this over now a few times, but I really just would like to reiterate that we are not a nightlife establishment. There might be problems with the boats and the cruises, but that is not us. We are strong operators. We are strong additions to this community. We have raised so much money for this community, held so many events for children, for families. We look forward to continuing to be able to do so. And this is just a legal technicality to make our liquor license permit to continue to be able to do what we've been doing for so long. Thank you.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
So do you know who owns the traffic circle? City. The city.
The city, and
I'm just saying that that's why it's very difficult for us to suggest control or changes if the city owns it. So anybody can park there, buses can park there.
Public access space. It hurts us, they come from the boats.
we are working hand in hand with the city to improve the entire parking and pickup area.
So once Bastrop City makes that improvement in the traffic circle, there's no way to have some control of what goes in that circle.
Our trained staff will be able to guide cars.
Okay, so I think that's critical.
Yeah.
Especially when the event center is not open. That
Right.
becomes a free-for-all, a complete free-for-all. I know it's not the city's responsibility, but
Right.
still impacts the community. To figure out a way to how to manage the control. That's probably one of the few places in New York City we basically allow the parking.
Yeah, and that's why for our big events, we always open the dialogue with the 7th precinct to make sure that there is control of the area. And I know that, of course, people have had their concerns thus far, hence why we are working with the city to further expand it and make it, less congested for everybody.
So I have a follow-up question to that. So when you're saying the traffic circle, you're talking about that area right where you pull in and circle around and kind of loops over where the access road to the park is. That's what you're saying, the traffic circle. That's what's owned by the city, correct?
Mhm.
And not to muddy the waters, but the boats that are docking there, you just own the building, right?
We lease
the
That's
building
right.
is always under your control.
Correct.
The pier is city, so that's why the boats have the ability to dock there.
Correct.
And you have nothing to do with that.
Correct.
Okay.
You ever tried to play basketball on a boat? It's not.
Okay, so any other committee members have any other questions at the moment?
I mean, is this the traffic stuff done before the transportation committee?
Bruce, you know the answer to that question. It's been going on for a long time now.
We've had, I think, 6 to 8 iterations, but it's been held up because of Pier 42 with the East Coast Resiliency Project. So we've been put on hold, told to stop, redo it, get it ready to go, stop. I mean,
But we now have the green light to continue again with the city, and we're working hand in hand with them.
To his point, for clarification, the community board has to.
Yes, this community.
Years ago.
Yes, we did. I remember we did see that one.
Right. Hasn't changed that much, but that's changed.
Only for the
There
better.
was a big discussion about the not the hot dog vendor, but the vendor that's blocking. I remember the big discussion about that. Yes.
Right.
So,
Still there. He's still there.
Still going, that was during Banco,
No.
it's during every day.
all the time.
Because there's so many tourists that come there, they choose that location. They found the location, which is not necessarily on the property, but blocks the pedestrian.
So the food trucks are supposed to come.
Well, it's not a food truck. It's a cart.
It's
Still.
They don't, they're not.
The carts are,
Hey.
it's a franchise.
Okay. So
It's like the crux of the issue is there are things that are out of Basketball City's control that particularly the residents are experiencing. And I feel like the concern is whether providing this license will exacerbate those issues. Like, I understand kind of the arguments made around, you don't have responsibility for the traffic circle, or you're not responsible for the people that are urinating in, people's personal, like residential space. But I guess the concern is adding the liquor license may exacerbate some of those issues. I just kind of am curious if other folks feel that that's the,
Can I respond to that?
sorry, Susan said something I didn't hear.
He says those are the boats.
Yeah, no, I understand it's the boats, but I guess my point is, if liquor is added, I get the sense, I understand the residents might feel that right now it's Basketball City's fault, but I think what I'm hearing from Basketball City team is that that's an issue that isn't necessarily coming from them, but does the addition of the liquor license exacerbate this
So
issue?
they've had a liquor license there.
Yeah.
They've had these events before.
Yeah,
Except
the one
they
events.
were one-off events. So it's not adding anything, but it needs, it is already there and everybody's saying it's a problem and it needs to be managed much better.
Because it'll be more free for them to do whenever and whatever they want.
And bringing in a responsible operator allows us to manage it, and we believe it will do the opposite of exacerbating. It will reel it in, because we now have a traffic study that we are stipulating to abide into with all the recommendations. We now have a number of staff on deck at all times to ensure no loitering, to ensure safe patrons. This bringing in an operator with such a high, with such great experiences, great performances. I mean, this allows us to really hone in on the concerns and make it a safer space for the community.
I think, great performances is great. I've worked on many events with them, but I think more, I guess my concern is more like, what exactly is their role? Because they're not managing the behavior of people that are, consuming the things that they're catering and bringing in. So I understand it helps professionalize the operation, and I understand the experience in park areas, but I guess that doesn't really control for the issues that we're hearing about from the residents. Oh, Susan also wants to respond.
If you're calling Henry. So I think the issue is cover stipulations.
Yeah. No, but I'm responding to the point, about bringing in great performances. I don't think that actually addresses the issue that we're talking.
I personally think, they know how to do stuff in the Lincoln Center. I'm not so sure they know how to do stuff in the Lower East Side, but because I don't know that.
Well, they do Prospect Park too, though. They do Prospect Park too.
I don't know if they got experience, but again, I'd say you need to control to the stipulations.
Let me clarify, these are stipulations that I've gotten from community members, right? In fact, Josie gave me a couple of them. So it's more community.
Yeah. So I do want to bring up, I do see that there are a couple other people that have raised their Zoom hand. We've moved on to the committee discussion. I think C has already spoken. I'm gonna allow you to speak, but if you can please keep it very brief, because we've already moved past the public discussion. So I'm just gonna give you the opportunity to speak, but if you can keep it to a minute or less, that would be great. So Sam Moskovich.
Hi, thanks for allowing me to speak. I'm the board president at Gouverneur Gardens, and I just wanted to speak about the traffic conditions caused by Basketball City. Most of the time it's okay, and the problems are from the party boats. Most of the issues are from those, but the 6 or 7 or 8 times a year where there's a large corporate event that takes over Basketball City really impacts the neighborhood. Traffic conditions are terrible. And granting this license would only make this worse, because now instead of applying for 8 separate licenses, they could do these every weekend. And the impact on the neighborhood, some of these licenses are for 2 or 3 days or more at a time. So the traffic is terrible for 4 days a week. I'm sorry, 4 days, 7 times a year, which is up to a month. And then this is because the parking facilities are inadequate. So they're saying this whole thing is going to make it better. There's only limited space for parking and cars and the huge trucks they need to run these events. And when that parking lot is filled, it spills out to our city streets, unloading and loading the personal vehicles of the employees and the people running the events. And that's the main negative impact on this neighborhood, which will only get worse with the permanent granting on this license. So I urge you to vote no, with no stipulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. And then I think there was one other person. Tommy Loeb.
Hello, thank you. I'm sorry I'm late, but I was at another meeting. And many of us in the community have been working on Basketball City issues since they came to the community in 2011. I would just like to say that before this board approves any liquor license, you have to go back and look at the agreement from 2011, what Basketball City is supposed to be providing this community. It's very specific in the number of hours, the number of courts, the accessibility on weekdays and weekends and evenings. None of this is being lived up to. What you're getting are generalities in a letter that talks about community support, this event, maybe that event, this amount of money, this amount of scholarships, without any specifics. This facility, once given a liquor license, will turn into a permanent venue for special events. That was not its intended use. And I also, by the way, think that before you say yes to any liquor license, you must review that, because there's also a requirement that Basketball City report to the Economic Development Commission its annual profits from special events. A percentage of that is supposed to be returned to the community. We've seen no evidence ever that that's been returned to the community. And I'm just going to end with one more objection. The attorney called it our facility. That is not your facility. That's the city's facility leased to you, and we are supposed to provide community benefit, not a venue for special events. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tommy. Okay, so back to the committee discussion. I know Sarah had some questions. Anyone else have any other questions about this item?
How often are you doing events?
Depends what you mean by events.
Like where you get the catering permit, the 1 day catering.
Oh, currently?
Yes.
Anywhere between 20 and 30, or we're only legally allowed to get 12 every rolling 6 months. So I guess you could call that 24 a year.
24 a year.
They last long for 12. So if you have one event, it's going on for maybe 3 months.
No, it's a 24-hour, it's a 1 day event permit.
Some of these events are talking about the Van Goghs. Yes. Some of the events are going on.
But there's no alcohol at Van Gogh.
Well, I don't know that, but the traffic, I'm sorry.
Any event with alcohol is a 24-hour event permit, and we're legally allowed to get 12 every 6 months.
Got it. So I've seen the Van Gogh events. What other kind of events do you do when you get the alcohol permit?
It's not that many. That's not the focus of what we do. It's corporate events, holiday parties, really just enough to pay for the philanthropy that we do. I mean, it's not much. It's corporate events.
It's all corporate events.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a wedding venue. It's not a catering hall. There's a different liquor license category for catering permits, or catering establishments rather. We're not getting a catering establishment license because this is not an event hall. This is a place there's going to be a cafe that's operated by Great Performances indoors. And there will be every once in a while some corporate events. And we're happy to stipulate to a certain number, but this is not a nightlife establishment.
How many corporate events a year would be ideal for you guys?
I mean, we're happy to stick to that number of 24.
Okay.
I'd like to hear Trevor's stipulation.
I mean, I can read,
Wants to hear from you.
she was asking for your stipulations. I can read back and you can correct it.
Yeah, and those are just what I wrote.
Yeah, so the additional stipulations Trevor had asked for were the redo of the traffic circle, use of the parking lot for waiting vehicles, established contact with the Department of Sanitation for additional trash cans, Commitment to have an email or phone number for any issues or complaints, notifying the community board or residents anytime there are events. And I actually missed half of the last one. What was your last one, Trevor?
Well, they've already mentioned they're gonna have security guard, that's, I forget how many security guards are using it to use per people.
75 per person.
Yes, he said 75.
And
One security per 75 people.
And for the traffic study that was attached to make sure that's part of the stipulations.
Yep.
That they adhere to those things.
I would like to also, maybe if you can please, claim that Basketball City makes sure when people leave, that they're leaving our community in peace and not leaving it in, shambles, and then just, we're left the next day to see how disgusting some, I'm not saying all the time, because I know the party boats do the same thing. And so this is what I would like, that they would just watch, how our community is being handled.
Well, I think
We can-
in that stipulation, you can say these guards or security guards, but the personnel also, they're on the outside, not just on the inside.
Yep, that is the plan.
So
I think, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, just to get some flag, I think the traffic is terrible. I think Bruce does a really horrible job in one thing, and that's in letting people know what you're doing. Did you bring any information with you? No,
Yes.
you did? David Garza, called me about this, and he said that, the Henry Street kids get a tremendous amount of scholarships and benefits from Basketball City. Bruce needs to have somebody that works with the community and lets the community know what you're doing and, gives more open information to them. But I do want to say they absolutely, even though they keep it hidden, they absolutely work with our kids.
Thank you, Susan. I mean, it's,
Do you have something there can give the
Well, no,
community?
look, we've never really doubted that. One of the best stories was, I think it's not necessarily Victor Papa would always sit and every meeting we went to would say, no, the big bad developers have been this and that. 4 years ago, he calls me up, he says, hey, it's Victor Papa. He says, we want to honor you on our event. I said, Victor, this is Bruce Farrell. This is your antagonist. I mean, he says, no. He says, whatever you said you were gonna do, you've done that plus more. You've taken our kids in, you've given us court time, you've done everything you said. And it's not just that organization. We try to reach out to a lot of organizations. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't come back to us. The other thing is we make donations. We support different organizations by, making cash donations as well. And like I said earlier, we've given millions of dollars back in kind, not cash, to the community. And it's very important for us. So we get upset too with the boats and people coming into the parking lot and urinating in our space. I mean, we're impacted more than anyone else because we're right there. And, between that and construction, it's been a mess.
The Lower East Side has had a mess with the construction.
Yes, I think there are, of course, concerns that everybody has that we are hearing and listening to, but it also deserves to be said how much Basketball City has done for this community, more than your standard liquor licensed establishment. They pride themselves in giving back.
The Lubricant Gardens has not received, and I remember in the beginning it did, but it has not received anything since.
Mike Collins, our youth director, emails a lot of the organizations. And some people he doesn't never respond. He said some.
To Frank or
Sam?
to Frank and Sam?
I'm not sure who he does, we'll find out.
But you should connect with
Yeah,
them.
we'd be happy to connect with government.
Connect with the management office.
So I think one question I have, because it sounds like it's about to go into the stipulations, is some sort of notification before events, is just how we define events. I mean, what does that exactly mean? Events over a certain number of people, events that will be lasting till a certain time. I mean, we don't plan on having many events, 1 a.m. was the time we put down on weekends. there aren't going to be that many that go that late. It's obviously it's a legal technicality that we have to put it if we ever want to have an event that late. So if it's that, we are happy to stipulate to any event that will be going past midnight, we will notify the community board.
I don't think, I mean, I think the notification is just from what I've heard from both residents and people here is that it's just, they don't know when a big event's happening. So when this traffic is such an issue, I heard someone mention they can't get to their car, or they can't, whatever the case may be. So I think, I don't know if it's about the size or the time. I think it's just if an event is happening, and I'm not sure, I was thinking about this, I'm not sure how what that notification would look like. I don't know if it's.
Because we already notify the precinct.
Yeah, but the precinct is gonna notify the people.
Right.
So that's, you know, I'm not sure.
The precinct doesn't do very much, and so.
We can get a list from community members.
So you could provide a calendar of the events the next 2 weeks.
Like,
Just provide a calendar, you know, these are the events coming up in the next 2 weeks, so at least people.
Where are they, like, what are they doing with that calendar? I guess that's.
We can publish it on our website. Is that what
Send it to the email list.
Like a list of them. What we do with you, the community with the outreach.
Yeah,
Okay,
something like that.
So this is a fun stipulation. I don't think we've done something like this. I think maybe at the beginning of every month.
A calendar.
Yes, a list of events for that month.
And if the residents have concerns, everything.
Right, with contact information.
Right, we're not doing anything in June, young in July, so we set it up before the July events.
That's right. That's right.
2 weeks
But
before.
the vendor has to do it because Bruce is going to get it done.
It's gonna be me. It's gonna be.
That's only 6 months.
Oh, I wish.
Okay, so, I mean, I know I heard from some people online that were specifically saying no, under no circumstances, with no stipulations, et cetera, just deny outright. It sounds like, from what I've heard from Trevor and maybe Josie, that because some of the things are outside of your control, if we were to put these stipulations and they were adhered to, that would probably be the best case scenario of what we could achieve. So normally I would be, you know, I know you said this isn't, there are a lot of things happening once they leave property now. This is a thing we speak about bars all the time. When we talk about bars, we say, just because, you know, once they leave your property, then essentially they're not a problem, but you're creating the problem by bringing them there. But the thing that I've been able to rectify in my own mind is the fact that this has been happening. So we're not changing anything, and we're not adding anything in additional, any events or anything else. So by adding these stipulations and you're redoing the traffic and parking and et cetera, it's at least beginning to address some of the issues that have already been happening. So it's improving the situation, at least from what it is currently.
That's right.
So I think that's, at least for myself, that's one way that I'm a little more comfortable with this than some other situations.
Should see the improvement first and then approve. And I think the events, you know what I'm saying, right?
We can't have all of those events without the liquor license.
2011, 2012. So, and now it's just getting worse and worse and worse.
That's why we're here.
Okay, so any other committee questions, or I think we're gonna kind of move to drafting of some stipulations and resolutions here. So were you able to jot down?
Well, I got two, you're looking worse handwriting.
So one is,
I could share the screen.
Yeah.
Do you want the supplemental steps?
Yeah, put up the supplemental steps first, and we're gonna type these up. So one is redo of the traffic circle.
So just to speak to the redo of the traffic circle, that's obviously not fully in our control. It's with the city, as we mentioned. So, you know, continued work with the city to redo the traffic. So
yeah, I guess that's more of a achievable goal.
Thanks.
So Basketball City is committed to do it.
Oh, absolutely. We really want it. We really do.
So, and I would say
participate in renovations, you know?
It's not really assisting the city.
Or
it's
collaborate with the city.
Collaborate with the city on redesign of the traffic circle.
Yeah, we call it the PUDO, the pickup drop off area. PUDO.
Redesign of the pickup drop off area. 2 is use of the parking lot for waiting vehicles.
During events to reduce congestion.
During events to reduce congestion. 3 was establish contact with Department of Sanitation. Well, and I guess
They made it a little better. I think I heard you're going to have additional trash cans there.
We certainly want to. That's
so
what.
technically, that's not really, they're not really necessarily working with Department, so we don't want to say work with Department of Sanitation, we just want to say provide additional trash receptacles.
They put a compost one on Cherry Street and they use it as a garbage can. Why did they put compost? I'll never understand. It wasn't.
The concern is that that is a Department of Sanitation issue, not ours. I mean, we also want to reduce the the amount of trash.
Trash receptacles on your facility, on your property, on your facility is within yours.
On our facility.
Yeah, we weren't saying outside.
Okay.
I mean, you have no control.
Once it's outside, then the people from the boats start using it, and then it becomes a DSNY issue. Trash receptacles within the facility, that we can happily agree to.
Well, I mean, but I think they were asking for them outside, but you still have property outside.
Within our property.
Within your property line. Exactly.
No, because these people come from the boats and they just trash our whole property.
No, that's something that you're gonna have to.
To our neighborhood, Bruce, they really trash our.
Listen, I'm on the same side.
How about say one extra status like establishment of trash cans and what forms of money? That work for Cherry Street?
Who picks up your trash, does sanitation?
No, we have dumpsters. We have dumpsters.
What?
We have a dumpster.
It's a private car.
No, we have a private car.
Right.
Sanitation doesn't pick up there.
So that's.
No.
No, it's owned by the city.
It's what?
Is it a private company or is it?
It's on our property.
So you don't have a private car?
No, because we control everything, we throw it in the dumpster. We don't wait for the sanitation, we keep it.
And then Department of Sanitation picks it up from the dumpster.
No.
It's a private car.
It's a car.
3 years ago.
But what I'm suggesting, and this worked at Pier 35, because we had a trash problem with the flow traffic. DSNY is out, it's right there. So we work with them to get more trash cans in the department. So I'm asking for the operator to work with DSNY, that's not, the right is doing each other. To establish more trash cans in that area that will put the burden.
We would happily agree to that.
So the stipulation would be work with Department of Sanitation to provide more trash receptacles in the area to prevent trash.
Then who picks, I think we need to clear.
No, but it's Department of Sanitation. They're working with Department of Sanitation, provide more Department of Sanitation receptacles.
Somebody's picking them up.
But if
It's on the street.
So these are on the street.
Yes, that's what we're saying. To provide more trash. And then
Where exactly?
so do we want to say trash receptacles on the streets? Is that?
Yeah, they should be on the further side of South Street and on Montgomery, you see all South Street areas, right there. Because when they cross, I'm telling you, this is when they begin to throw into the garden.
Okay. A commitment to have an email and or phone number for any issues or complaints, which is already under stipulations, but.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you have a parking lot?
That was at the beginning, yeah. Use of the parking lot for waiting vehicles during.
Yeah, that's number 2.
Events to reduce congestion. And then notifying the community board and residents of any upcoming events.
So how do we want to do that? Because we can't notify you unless we have the proper channel to notify.
No, that's what we were saying. So that's what I was gonna go, this was just saying notifying community board, but I think we further elaborated that on providing a calendar of upcoming events at the beginning of each month. Now I guess what I wasn't clear on, where was that providing it to the community board? Was it providing it to an email list? Where was that calendar?
There is an email list with most of the tenant representatives that they already have for the basketball city scholarships. They can use that list, but I would make it more broad. They can even put it on the website for people just to click immediately.
They can sign up.
You don't want to, so it's going to bring other people there.
Oh, well, what if you send it
Especially
to
if
the
it's a private
management?
company event, they don't want people to know. So we'll have to do.
What if you send it to the management office first, or Gouverneur?
But we'll send it to.
They have a list.
Right.
Those are all surrounding.
Right.
So the community board office and the surrounding.
Community.
You can work with.
To the community board and
I don't want to wordsmith it all later, because I don't want to make it something that we're incapable of doing. I don't want to.
I just want to make sure, I don't want to put something that you can't do either, that's why.
Right.
So notify, so I don't know if we want to say community board, but say notify. Provide a monthly calendar at the beginning of each month for upcoming events to.
The question is, which specific buildings need this
That's what I was
notice?
gonna ask. So we're providing a monthly calendar of upcoming events to, and are we saying the email list of the neighboring communities?
If someone provides that, then we'd probably be
We already
okay.
have one that we use for the community outreach, scholarships.
We have one, I just don't know the proper, what to call it.
Well, that's it.
No, for him, I just don't know what to call it.
So, I mean, to the email list of neighboring community groups currently used for scholarships and.
Currently,
outreach.
Outreach.
Does that,
Say community.
yeah, currently used for community outreach, does that capture it, Trevor, do you think? Okay. And then, so I guess the other clarification, you are providing one security personnel for every 75 people. I think we wanted to ensure that security is outside.
Will be both in and outside.
They are currently.
And so we already got the count. Okay. So, I think we have those, which are up on the screen now. So those are gonna be, so I'm gonna read through, unless anyone else on the committee has issues, I'm gonna read through the stipulations. We're gonna have to kind of I'll modify the stipulation form after this, so
That's okay.
you'll be receiving it, but we'll bring up the standard one and we'll go through it, and then we will add these at the end. All right, here. Okay. So Bruce, you'll be the person signing off on this, is that? Okay, good. So it's I, Bruce Radler, as a qualified representative of Basketball City, and I think, it's Basketball City LLC?
It's technically Basketball City, New York, LLC.
Basketball City, New York LLC. Located at Pier 36 at 299 South Street. Agrees to the following stipulations. My license type is a full liquor. Will operate a recreational facility with a cafe with less than a full service kitchen, but serving food during all hours of operation. Hours of operation will be cafe will be Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 10. And then that was
10 p.m.
Yeah, 10 p.m. 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Private, and then it's private. It's not going to be open just in general.
Yeah, the cafe will only be open Monday to Thursday,
but
4 to 10, not even on weekends.
Every day.
Right, that's the cafe.
That's the cafe.
Yeah.
That'll be every day.
That's correct. That's not an event.
That's
Correct.
every day. And then for private events and exhibits, it will be Sunday through Wednesday until midnight and Thursday
through Saturday
until 1 a.m.
That's right.
I will not use outdoor space for commercial use, including open restaurants. It will employ a doorman or security personnel, one for every 75 people, and maybe add at the end of that, the clause about security will be inside as well as outside the facility. Soundproofing business, so I will have a closed fixed facade. So, and I guess, you know, you're, all of that stuff, you may be having DJs live music, but in a sense, no one has complained about that. It's not the issue of music, noise, anything.
It's not inside.
It's
outside.
Yeah. So that's fine. So it will not only be beyond recorded background music. You want to apply for an alteration that's coming to CD3. Will not participate in pub crawls or party buses. Will not have unlimited drink specials. Will not have a happy hour. You did not check off wait lines. You do have, well, you have events that do have wait lines.
Just queuing your man, you have government security. You know, they want them there, they make sure there's nothing in there, so.
So I think because, I mean, we don't, very, almost never do we ever approve wait lines in this situation. I don't think the wait line is an issue. I think we would need to put something on there about though, instead of just a staff person responsible for no loitering, noise, or crowds, it would be a staff person will be responsible for ensuring the line is orderly or.
Which we do, we have our security team out there.
I mean, I think in your case, the line isn't what's the problem, you know, that's not what people are complaining about, so. I think it just needs to be said, but so that your line isn't snaking down and going down Water Street or something like that.
So can I just point something out quickly back to number 8 for the 24 events per year?
Yes.
Can we be explicit in that it's 24 events with alcohol per year? Because for example, as we spoke about before, the Van Gogh event has no alcohol and that can stretch for 2 months, and we don't want that, you know, to count as 60 events because it's 60 days, you know what I mean?
2 events with alcohol. Okay. So we were down at the bottom, we were saying, you know, we'll have a staff person to ensure the line's orderly and managed. And then we will flip over to the other sheet, which again, when these are sent to you, it'll be in a final format, but.
Bruce, can we get a phone number?
212-233-4242. That's my direct number. All right, let me change it.
It's 212-233-4242.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, and then flip over to the other
What's
doc.
that number again? It's publicly available on the staff news.
That's just pretty. Mailbox is full.
Okay, and these stipulations are also gonna be added on. We collaborate with the city on redesign of the pickup drop off and the traffic circle. Use of parking lot for waiting vehicles during events to reduce congestion, collaboration with Department of Sanitation to provide more trash receptacles outside the facility. A commitment for an email and or phone number for community outreach, or actually, that should be not community outreach, that should be community issues or complaints.
Community issues.
Yeah. And then provide a monthly calendar of upcoming scheduled events to email.
You say community issues and schedule. Yeah.
Good note? Yeah.
Yeah. Community issues covered most of it.
Yeah.
And then provide a monthly calendar of upcoming and scheduled events to email, list of neighboring resident community groups currently used for community outreach. I did see someone posted a comment, I think it was mentioned that list should probably be updated to include some of the new people, and I think maybe Trevor and Josie can help with that. Okay. And then security will be located both inside and outside the venue.
So for what constitutes an event that needs to go on this little monthly calendar, I mean, can we, as Bruce mentioned, there are some corporate parties that, you know, don't want their names published.
I don't know that it has to be necessarily, it doesn't have to say, you know, Samsung is hosting a private event. It could be, it could say.
Corporate event, private.
private corporate event.
Maybe you can estimate like the number of people as well.
Right, yeah, it doesn't have, you don't have to say, I don't think it needs to be the name of the business, I think it could just be private corporate. Yeah, I'm more concerned about the event size, not necessarily who it's going to be, so I think that's fine. Okay, does all of that stuff sound acceptable?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for being amenable.
Okay, so I think we're ready. You got all that? Yeah. Okay, so based on all that, anyone else have any questions about the stipulation? So at that point, we're gonna move on to a vote. Stephen Ballinger?
Yes.
Gabriel? Yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Clint? Yes. Michael? Yes. John?
Yes.
Okay, so the motion passes.
Thank you all.
I will redo these into the format and you'll be getting these in the next day or so.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We have your number.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Close. Okay. So everyone, I think we're gonna go back now. Gonna flip back to, because I don't. 42 to 41. Okay, I think for now, we're just gonna kind of. You're here for 162 Orchard? Yeah, I know you're 14A.
Are we ready?
No, you. If you're here, any members of the public that are here for number 14 and 15, 162 Orchard, please raise your Zoom hand. So we're gonna go ahead and take number 16, or I'm sorry, number 14 and 15, which is 162 Orchard Street. We're gonna take that one next, and I think the rest of them. Okay. Dimitri should be withheld. Yes, Dimitri is the applicant, I think. So I'm going to give a quick summary of this item, and then we're going to give the applicant and their attorney a chance to speak, and then we're going to move on to the public. So Whiteboard Hospitality Group, LLC, is doing business as Corsica, is seeking a full on-premises license for the premises located at 162 Orchard Street between Rivington and Stanton. It's an application for an establishment of up to 74 people, 7 tables and 32 seats with a stand-up bar, full kitchen and food prep area serving food during hours of operation, no television playing background music. There are 42 full on-premises licenses within 500 feet. This location previously housed a restaurant licensed to serve beer and wine. This applicant has never held a liquor license, though its principal, Dimitri Williot, has served as general management of Basement NYC, located at 45 Mott Street in District CD1 since 2019. 68 residents who live within 2 blocks signed the petition in favor. We have received, I think, 4 emails opposed to this application, including one from the Lower East Side dwellers. They're proposing hours of operation opening no later than 2 p.m. all days and closing by 1 a.m. Sunday through Wednesday and 2 a.m. Thursday through Saturday. So that being the overview summary, we're going to turn this over to the applicant and his attorney for a chance to speak to this item. Dimitri and Frank, please go ahead and.
Hi, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. I just wanted to make one quick note. We're going to be changing the DBA name from Corsica to White Horse. Oh, sorry, the DBA name is going to be Front of House, the hospitality group's White Horse Hospitality Group. That was.
Can I interrupt you a second, please?
Sure, go ahead.
Clint, I'm sorry, what did you say about CB1? You were cutting in and out. I apologize.
It says that the principal or the applicant has not held a license before, but he has served as general manager of Basement NYC, which is located at 45 Mott Street in CB1. Is that true, Dimitri?
That should be 3. That's what I thought. It should be 3.
Oh, yeah.
Where's CB3 is basement?
45 Mott Street is CB3. Oh yeah, you're correct. Okay, thank you for that correction, Frank.
Okay, Dimitri, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. The only clarification was that we're changing the DBA name to Front of House.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit more about what you're proposing to do with the space? Like what's your vision for the space?
Yeah, happily. So first things first, I grew up in the Lower East Side. I grew up in Stewart Park. I've lived there since 2005, so I've been there for almost 20 years now. It's been a dream of mine to own a restaurant in the Lower East Side, so that's kind of how this has all come about. We're going to be doing a French cuisine. I'm of Corsican descent, which is why the name was originally Corsica. We just thought that was closing ourselves into a box a little bit too much. So we're going with Front of House now. So yeah, it's going to be a French cuisine. We're trying to cater to more of an upscale kind of crowd, more classy. We definitely want to have like a dress code. We'd like to have, higher end cocktails, but if you've seen our menu, the menu is classic French cuisine. So we have like coq madame, things of that nature. We'll have some escargot, some oysters. But yeah, we're definitely trying to cater to like, not, this place is like hair of the dog that are more like a sports bar. We don't have TVs or any of that kind of stuff. We're really trying to like focus on our food options, on our cocktail options, and try and kind of elevate, the kind of vibe of this area. I grew up going to high school at Bard, so I've dealt with this neighborhood my entire life pretty much, and I know how rowdy it gets. We're trying to elevate it as much as we can.
Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and move to members of the public. And we do have, I know we have one person here in person that would like to speak. Do you want to grab a microphone? Go ahead, Patrick.
Hi, my name is Patrick Walsh. I have lived at the corner of Stanton and Ludlow for the past 24 years. I am here speaking for myself, my daughter, and my wife, and my neighbors. We are living in abject degradation. I see some new faces up here. I don't know how familiar you are with that corner, with that whole area. It is grotesque. We have been completely stripped of our quality of life rights. It is unpoliceable. And it is inconceivable to me that I don't know this gentleman, but I don't understand why you would need a full-on liquor license. It is inconceivable that another full-on liquor license could only further degrade and debase us. It can do no other. We are already living in a state of lawlessness. And it's a lawlessness that's spread out all over the place, okay? As Susan can tell you, 2 weeks ago, on a Sunday from noon to 8 o'clock, there was a party on Ludlow Street, blasting music all day. This is due to the insane saturation of liquor licenses. 500 pardon me, 42 within 500 feet. So for the sake, I want to, here's something from the SLA. The SLA works to promote the health, welfare, and safety of the people of New York State. This is on their goddamn website. They have debased our health. They have degraded our persons. This craziness should have stopped a decade ago. So I implore you to deny this full-on liquor license. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Okay, I do think there are some people online that wish to speak. If you're here to speak to this item, please raise your Zoom hand. And while they're doing that, I do want to clarify something. I should have done this at the beginning of the item, this item. I think some of you noticed that this item was listed as an OP license, which is a full liquor license, and a beer and wine license. This is something new that we may start seeing a little more frequently, or it may actually change. What it's doing, the SLA is allowing someone to apply for a full liquor license, but also apply for a beer and wine license at the same time. They can get their beer and wine license, temporary license, quicker than their full license because they don't have to go through the higher standard to meet with the 500 foot here. So the SLA is allowing them to apply for a beer and wine license at the same time as their full OP license so they can get a temporary license sooner. In the end, though, it will essentially be a full liquor license, so we are reviewing this tonight as a full liquor license. Does anyone on the committee have questions on that? I know it's a little confusing and
This is a new location being licensed?
No, it was previously licensed. The previous license expired it's actually still technically active on the SLA's website until July 31st of this year.
Was it a beer and wine or full?
It was a full liquor.
Full liquor, 2 a.m. or?
The hours were, let's see here. Can you check what the hours were for the previous, Susan? Can you check what the hours were for 162 Orchard? 162 Orchard. Okay. What they were approved for previously. So, okay. So I think I did see some people had raised their hand to speak to this item. So please raise your Zoom hand. We're going to promote you. Okay, I saw some people raise their hand in the beginning, but
They're still on there. I don't wanna blow them up. But lower their hands.
okay, so it seems like, doesn't sound like at the moment, anyone else is here to speak to this. Does anyone else on the committee have any items while Susan's looking up the previous hours?
So, yeah, so I was just sort of concerned about the waitress, considering it's a full restaurant. I don't understand why it would need to be 2 a.m. for a full restaurant.
I mean, I kind of have the same, my other concern is, given that, yes, I know you've been a manager in the area, but you've never technically held a license, so we don't have much to go by. Giving you a 2 a.m. license in this area is it is the most saturated area, basically in all of New York and in some senses, all of the country. I'm not quite sure that I'm comfortable giving you a 2 a.m. license at this location at the moment.
Okay. Well, the first thing I'd like to say is that I have two minority partners here, Chris and Evan. They might be in the room right now. So Evan currently manages 2 bars and restaurants in Soho, Lola Taverna and Little Prince. So he has extensive experience in this industry. And then I have a bar manager, Chris, who's also a minority partner, and he's the manager at Dumbo House. I've also previously owned businesses in the Lower East Side on 5th Street. So I have, vast logistical knowledge when it comes to hospitality. I believe between all 3 of us, we definitely have the expertise necessary to run this in a clean and concise manner. I don't foresee us having any issues with crowd control or with anything of that nature. Like I said, this is a restaurant, so I don't think that at 2 a.m. would be problematic for us. One thing I do want to bring up is that, as everyone's aware, the majority of our food sales are going to come between the hours of 9 p.m. and 2 a.m. in the neighborhood. Cutting us down past 2 a.m., we'd be cutting our sales and food by 20–30%. I mean, I'm not quite sure exactly where you want to stipulate to, but just off the top of my head, we'd be cutting our hours in damn near in half.
So the previous location was licensed till midnight at that location. The previous restaurant was a full service restaurant. Licensed, it was I guess it was Japanese restaurant, was licensed 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Tuesdays through Sundays, closed on Mondays.
Right, and the previous location did not succeed. It wasn't profitable. They did have to close down.
Why do you need DJs if it's a full restaurant?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Why do you need DJs if it's a full restaurant, sit-down restaurant?
Right, we don't necessarily need DJs. It's more so that if somebody wants to book a private event, if a corporate event wants to have a DJ, we have the option to sell it. It allows us to access more market share. It's not, a necessity for us. It's not a regular thing for us. It just allows us we also have a private dining room in the back, so it gives us the option to do buyouts. That's really all it is.
So these private corporate events with with DJs, do you anticipate the DJs playing at like event level, like like a dance party, like a dance hall type of thing, rent it out, have a reception there, or is like the DJ is going to be like background ambient music?
It's definitely not a dance party. Interestingly enough, they actually had a full speaker system in the space that had subs and everything in the wall. We actually removed it. It was unnecessary. I think it was too loud. It was causing problems. And we added soundproofing to the space as well. I would say somewhere in between. Definitely not like a dance party. Definitely not like a nightclub or a bar or anything like that. More of like during the live events, I'd say it's a little bit louder, but on a regular basis, no, more of an ambient level.
Do you know how many, or can you anticipate how many private events you may have a year?
A year or a month?
Yeah, I don't know. So.
For
the year, yeah.
Right, okay. Private events, I'd say maybe 3 or 4 times a month. With a DJ, maybe once or twice.
So you won't have a DJ playing if you don't have an event booked in the back?
Not that I foresee, no. If we were to have an event or if we were to hire a DJ, it would likely be for an event. I don't foresee us having a DJ just on an off night.
Okay, so
the answer is no, Dimitri.
Yeah.
Yeah, so DJs would be private events only.
Yes.
How's the soundproofing in the space?
So when we took over, actually I'm in the space right now, so I'm looking at it. Right above me, all of the seating areas have soundproofing already. We removed a portion of the ceiling and added more soundproofing in the back. And like I said, we took all the subs out of the wall, so there wouldn't be any vibrations for the tenants upstairs.
It's subwoofer.
Yeah. We removed them.
Subwoofer.
So you're saying you would not be willing to move the hours back to what the previous applicant or previous establishment had, which was 12 a.m. all nights?
I think for weeknights, I don't see an issue with it being 12 a.m. I know we asked for 1. I think we can do 12 on weeknights. Cutting us to 12 is going to hurt business a lot. I think we could probably go with a 1 a.m. on weekends. I don't see that being an issue.
Because the problem is, I mean, as I said earlier, this is an awful, awful area and location.
Right.
And I understand that everyone comes in here and they tell us that they're going to bring a different kind of crowd and they're going to elevate the area. But the problem is simply just the sheer number of people and the sheer number of people that are then out on the streets between 2 and 4. And it just, it's become unbearable for the people that live there. And
Sorry, go ahead.
My thought is, and I understand you're proposing a full restaurant, you're not proposing a club, you're not proposing a, rock bar, or anything else, but it's still simply just the amount of people that are there, and the previous establishment was midnight, so I'm really uncomfortable approving anything that's extending the hours or it's extending the impact of any location in this place. If you would have came in here for a place that had previously had 2 o'clock hours, I don't think it would be as much of a decision for me, but to add to the impact on the residents in this area and the streets and the police, because, we've heard from the police about the issues that are happening down there. So okay, Susan, our district manager, would like to speak.
Yeah, I just want to comment on that because of the complaints, quality of life issues. It's probably literally one of the worst blocks in the world. And, I understand that it's very hard to move back and, have a beer line where you've had a full liquor or 12 where you've had 2. But for us to approve something that would increase the negative impact would just seems to be worsening the complaints. I don't know if you guys know that the police are really not allowed to enforce anymore. They are allowed to, if they get complaints, they're allowed to go speak to the vendor, to the business owner. And if, in order to go further than that, they have to go to Patrol South and get permission to give a summons. And it's just in that area, not in Orchard, but right in that area. Patrick's been talking about the parties. One business actually had a pop-up and they went to the precinct and asked for a sound permit. They were denied and had the event anyway. And now the police, all they can do is go to their legal department to find out what to do. So it's not enforceable. Even our, what we have is the SLA is actually better at enforcing at this point than the city. So I would just say because of the quality of life and complaints we get, having a further impact on the community is something to be very careful about in that area.
And I would like to say, Dimitri, I've said this, but you maybe haven't heard me, but many people heard me say this many times. You may have a good application. I think it might just be the wrong location for what you want to do. Again, I would probably be comfortable approving something with a 12 a.m. closing, but except because, and nothing, this isn't an indication of any kind of your experience or what I think for your future, but if you go in there and we've extended the hours to 2 a.m. and then you don't survive or you decide you need to move on, you're successful and you move on to a bigger space, we're then left with another space that we've then extended from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. And once that's been extended, the SLA is most likely going to grant that same, if someone were to come in with the same business method of operation, same hours, the SLA is much more likely to grant that than if you were extending it. So we have to be very careful when we're extending the hours or extending the method of operation of what's already there.
Right.
If you were coming in a location that already had 2 a.m. hours, I would probably be a little more comfortable with that, but I'm going to speak for myself. I don't know that I'm comfortable approving something with any extension of hours past the midnight that the previous business had.
Okay. I believe your name was Susan. I'm sorry. To respond to that portion first, I live in this zip code. I still live in 10002. I've lived here my entire life. Any issues that would be created for my space, I live in. I walk my dogs here every single day. The last thing I'm trying to do is continue that same pattern. This isn't going to be a location like Hair of the Dog where you have people falling over into the street and it's a disaster. I grew up walking through these streets to high school. That's a mess. It's the last thing that I'm trying to create. To go a little further into that, that's part of why I didn't want to go for a 4 a.m. license. I don't think it's necessary. I shot straight for 2 in hopes of preventing a negotiation where I agree, like 4 a.m. is unnecessary. The crowd at that time is also unnecessary. All the woes that are being presented, I live with every single day. I live 4 blocks away from here. So I fully understand where everyone's coming from.
Okay. Thank you for that. I don't know if anyone else has any other thoughts on, I mean, I think right now, I was questioning, I think Stephen already got to the question of the DJs. I'd be comfortable with the DJs. Also, we would be adding a stipulation that, you know, soundproofing would be installed to ensure that no sound would be audible in any nearby apartments.
Of course.
But again, I don't have as much of an issue with that. My main issue with this would just be the hours of what you presented so far. So I don't know if anyone else has.
I also wouldn't go beyond midnight with the previous, because there are, and actually last month, we actually wound up improving the situation with an existing license. So, you know, until we actually see you operating the business, you know, I just personally, I wouldn't approve anything past midnight for a full service restaurant, because it sounds like you're not operating a full service restaurant if you're running till 2 or we're pondering going 4. It's just not.
They are, so, still.
No, I understand. I'm just saying.
Because it's just the number of people that are on the streets at that time of the night is my main concern.
Right. Okay. I think a 12 a.m. on weekdays is fine. Could we stipulate to a 1 a.m. on Thursday, Friday, Saturdays?
I'm not at this point, because you don't have, I mean, I know you're a manager, but I don't necessarily have a track record to base that on. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't know if anyone else is, but
I would want to actually see you operate the business for a substantial period of time before we did anything and beyond what was already there.
Yeah, I concur. Maybe give it a year, come back, you know, no complaints, everything's cool, you know, and then we can look at the hours again. And we do that to other operators, you know, we have done before, we can revisit it. Once we establish a track record, get to know you, you know, the community members, get to know you, establish some trust and communication. So that's where.
Just as an example, there was an application, I think it was on Stanton Street last month, where the neighbors, including the Lower East Side dwellers, actually supported an increase in hours for a legitimate restaurant that has not been a problem. They did support the extension of hours to, I think it was 2 a.m. So it does happen in that area, but again, you have to have a track record to show us that you are legitimately a restaurant, you're not a problem, you're not adding to any of the problems in the area. So I think, at least it seems like with Michael, John, and myself, I don't know that we're comfortable, from what I've heard them say, with anything past 12 at this point. I can't speak for them here.
Clint, can I say something, Clint?
Sure, go ahead, Frank.
One of the problems the prior operator had was that it couldn't go later. We got this from the landlord himself. The landlord, during the lease negotiations, wanted us to put in the lease that we would try to get a 4 a.m. license, and I quote, like every other place in the neighborhood. We would not agree to that. I know better than to agree to those terms. What I can tell you is, I hear everything you're saying. I don't even think I disagree with you. All I'm saying is, if the place is going to be successful, it's a 10-year lease. Dimitri's putting an awful lot of money into this place. All we're saying is 3 hours different during the week. He didn't come in a wise guy with 4 a.m. to negotiate down to 2. He came in with honest hours. We're asking for 3 hours more a week.
And I hear you, Frank, and I'll go along with you and say I don't truly disagree with you for the 3 hour part, but it's just, it's that area, and I'm not comfortable even with those 3 hours, because that's a big impact.
Can I ask you this question, Clint? Would 2 hours make you comfortable with just Friday and Saturday? And we'll close it at 12 o'clock on Thursdays.
No, that's what he had offered, essentially kind of offered already, was 12 a.m. during the week and 1 on Friday and Saturday, but
he said Thursday. He said Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's how I got 3 hours.
I'm kind of set on the 12 o'clock from speaking for myself.
What if you cut the DJs?
I don't
think there's noise inside.
I'm not as concerned about the DJs with their space when it was for special events and stuff. I would be fine letting him have that for that matter. I'm not.
Okay.
He's choosing one of the worst blocks.
Yeah.
It is a nightmare. I stay away.
You know, you
Right.
pick a
I stay
block,
away from there.
you pick, you know, not only just the area, but you pick literally the epicenter.
Next.
Yeah,
right
this is-
next door to the worst
There are a lot of
place.
other open vacancies in the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
he has chosen, he's not gonna request.
No, that came out. So.
Literally chosen the
Okay.
worst block.
So I'm prepared to propose a resolution that would basically include I'm okay with everything else he was proposing, even including the DJs for special events, but it would be a 12 o'clock closing all nights. Is there a straw poll of who would?
I would
support
second that.
I would say yes. Same.
Okay, so it sounds like we're basically all in agreement with that. So I think that'll be our resolution stipulations. It'll be up to you afterwards if you choose to sign on and agree with that, or you can not sign that and go your way.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put the stipulations up on the screen. And we'll read through those, and again, this will just be for clarification purposes. In the end, you don't have to sign these if you disagree. So it's I, Dimitri Williot, as a qualified representative of White Horse Hospitality LLC, and I think we just need to change the DBA to, oh, we already got the front of house, located at 162 Orchard Street. My license is and that actually, you are proposing a full liquor license.
It's a full, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Should we both or?
Well, that was the confusion because it was, yes, it was, so what we will do, if this is signed and approved, we will send through to the SLA the stipulations for wine and beer. It'll be the same stipulations. One will just be for wine and beer, one will be for full liquor. So for this purposes, we're gonna put the full liquor license, but we will send them through, if you agree and you sign them, we'll send through a wine and beer and a full liquor so that you can go through the process of getting your temp license or earlier if you so choose.
And if he doesn't sign, we'll still send it.
Yes, if you don't sign them, it'll be a denial for both of them, but. So you'll be operating a full service Corsican restaurant with kitchen open and serving food during all hours. The hours of operation will be all days, 2 p.m. through 12 a.m.
Yeah.
You will close out outdoor dining allowed under the open dining program or any other outdoor uses by 10 p.m. You will not have TVs or speakers. You employ a doorman or security personnel 1 to 2 on Thursday through Saturday. You will install soundproofing, and we are going to add in here to ensure the sound is not audible in nearby apartments. And you will close any front or rear. The facade is operable. There are the windows are able to be opened, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. So you will close any front and rear facade doors and windows at 10 p.m. You will have DJs, but you will not have live music, third-party promoted events, any event in which a cover fee is charged for scheduled performances. But you will have DJs not more than 3 to, so that section we need to put, you were saying DJs would be, what, two times a week?
I think 3 to 4 times a month is fair.
3 to 4 times a month, and then we'll say for private events.
Correct.
And then, since it will be DJs, it will not be, we will uncheck that I will play ambient background recorded music only.
Wait, that's not right. That's not right. 8's wrong.
Which one is right? Which one?
What needs to be corrected, Frank?
You said more than 3 to 4 private parties per month for private events. I think you want to say DJs, right?
Well, so it's not more than, so that's actually, thank you for the catch, Frank. It's more than.
Right here, so more than.
3 to, and just put 4, we don't need to put 3 to 4, put 4 DJs per month.
4 DJs.
For private events. And I guess in a sense though, so I guess the question is, you could have a private, so you're saying 4 DJs per month with private events. Are you planning on having more than 4 private events that don't have DJs, I guess?
Yeah, people buy it out for birthdays and things like that, so yes.
Okay, so we're gonna say no more than 4 DJs per month, only for private events.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a restaurant.
And then, how many private parties are you proposing?
Maybe 2 or 3.
A month?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna put it to 3.
So we'll,
We're up to like 7 events a month.
How many square feet is that private room? Do you have an estimate?
Our room is about 300 square feet, I think. Right around 300.
so wait, but I think we've got this a little twisted because you can't have DJs for private events 4 times a month, but only 3 private parties a month. So you're saying, are you saying 7?
Yes.
7.
You're saying you could have 7 total events, 3 of them would be without DJs and 4 of them would include DJs. Is that what you're?
Correct.
Okay.
The events are more so private buyouts for the dining room. So if a family of 12 wants to come have a birthday event, they would buy out the back room, not the full restaurant.
Okay. That's fair.
Right?
Can
So-
you repeat that?
Yeah, can you repeat?
So some of our private events would not be full events in the space. We have a private dining room. So that's why there's a confusion between how many total events and how many DJs. The back room alone can be bought out for private dinner. So say a family of like 12 wants to have a birthday party, they can buy just the back room for their dinner.
Okay, because generally what we count as a private event for this purpose is a full buyout of the restaurant.
Okay, full buyout, then I would say 4 total per month with DJs.
Okay. 4 DJs. So 4 total, so no more than 4 DJs per month. I'm sorry. Yeah, no more than 4 DJs per month and no more than 4 private parties per month.
Sure.
And DJs would only be at private events.
Right.
Okay. So we're unchecking ambient recorded background music because you would have DJs. You will not apply for an alteration. You will not participate in pub crawls or party buses. You will not have unlimited drink specials. You will have a happy hour that will end by 7. You will not have wait lines. You will have a staff person responsible for no loitering or noise outside. You will post these stipulations and residents may contact the manager at the number below, and it's Dimitri Williot, and it's 917-244-4085.
Correct.
Okay, so we're gonna move to a vote with the committee at the moment, so it'll be Stephen Ballinger.
Yes.
Kiera, Sarah, I'm sorry, I didn't read your vote. No, Sarah?
Yes.
Clint, yes, Michael?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Okay, so that resolution passes. The office will send you out the stipulations. Again, you can discuss it with your attorney if you choose to sign a return. If not, it will be moved to denial with the full board.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for working with us.
Thank you.
Really good luck.
Thank you so much.
Can I ask, how is it a restaurant if they're having private events with DJs?
It's in the back room. Well, or no, they're full buyouts, he said so.
I know, so it's not a restaurant. That's not what we consider a restaurant.
Restaurants do full buyouts. 4 times a month, I'm being generous, Susan.
It's in, like I said, it's not really, they're not.
But, I mean,
Thank you for coming.
On Orange Street next to Eric Dog.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you for what you do, Susan.
All right, have
Thank
a
you.
good night. Home safe.
Okay. So. Okay, yes, so he's here, we're gonna.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go to Carlotta, which is 14A Orchard Street. I know the applicant is here in person. Give me just 1 second to bring up the summary.
Is that Pamela Yee?
Okay, so yeah, Frank's your representative, right?
Oh.
So promote Frank back again. Back.
40, very low.
And then we'll be asking for the public to raise your Zoom hand in a few minutes. I'm gonna give a summary, gonna give the applicant a chance to speak, and then we'll move to the public comments and questions. This is Dolce Ranger LLC doing business as Carlotta is seeking a full on-premises liquor license for the premises located at 14A Orchard Street between Canal and Hester. It's an application for establishment of 74 people with 7 tables and 23 seats, 1 18-foot bar with 5 seats. They are serving Spanish tapas prepared in a full kitchen, serving food during hours of operation with recorded music at background level. There are 19 full on-premises licenses within 500 feet. The applicant has been licensed at this current location since 2023 and has been licensed next door at 14B Orchard Street since 2012. There have been 56 non-crime corrected 311 since 2022, and we discussed this. This applicant was heard back in March. They withdrew because they had been approved for a wine and beer license, agreed to wait a full year before coming back. They're now coming back because they've met their year requirement. So we discussed this item back in March. The 56 non-crime corrected 311s could either be at 14A or 14B. The 311 isn't very clear, but in this case, because it's the same applicant, it could still apply because that's how he's operating his business. So normally there would be some discrepancies, but in this case, I think it's okay to lump them all together. The application, that's what I just said, was originally heard in March 2024. At that point, 4 people appeared in opposition to this because of noise and problems with the existing business. 17 residents who live within 2 blocks of the location signed a petition in favor of this application. They're proposing hours of opening no later than 10 a.m. all days and closing by 12 a.m. Sunday through Wednesday and 1 a.m. Thursday through Saturday. Okay. Do you have anything you'd like to add or clarify?
Excuse me.
You need a microphone for this. Oh, yes, yeah.
Oh, here, right here.
Yeah, just so that the other people on Zoom can hear you as well.
Tommy, before you speak, can I say one thing?
Yeah, Frank, go ahead.
These hours that we're proposing are our current hours. There's no increase in the hours based upon this.
Yes. The only thing that it's just an upgrade application. They're not proposing any other changes. They're upgrading from beer, wine to liquor.
Okay, so since the last meeting, according to the 311 reports, there were 8. 2 were within 2 minutes of each other. 1 was for an alarm, which we don't have an alarm there. And when you mentioned 14, the condo was 14 to 16. So a lot of times it gets lumped into 14. There's an art gallery that has events at least once or twice a week. But more importantly, just, according to what I looked at, and the bar itself, I believe it was in 21. I got a quote. It was, let's get it up. Okay, so in 2021, we had 86 311s, 2022, 37. In 2024, it was 9. And as I mentioned to you, 1 was alarm, 2 were within.
So
and the last time
I was clarifying, I'm being a little more, you're being more generous. I am only counting the 311s that were non-crime corrected. So that's why I had a lower number.
It's very loose, it's all interpretive.
I'm not counting the ones if the police, I'm only counting the ones that the police showed up and took action. Otherwise, we can't verify them, so I'm not even counting as high as you are, so.
Of course.
Okay.
And I guess really, at the end of the day here, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I see all these things, and I was in here for 12 years. My, someone the last thing that really did irk me about we don't do anything for the community. Myself and my assistant just dropped off feminine needs from a drive we just did. This is like the 5th one within 6 months. We're right in, it is the Wild West down there, by the way, which is there's way more going on than maybe you can imagine, in the sense of the people who are there have no idea what they're doing, the way they're behaving. I now have a second security guard just because of the swarms that are rolling through here on the weekends. People do roll up, and one of the complaints was, crowd noise outside. It could be 12 people coming from Treasure Island, right 2 doors down from me, and to go to people and be like, hey, we try to do the best we can. The last meeting too, I met my neighbors upstairs. They came down. I met my sound engineer again. Listened to them again, and again over the years, we seem to finally be getting it right. And I don't know what else I could just say, because we're just not like some of these things. I just can't even believe that these other people exist the way they operate. And now I'll turn it over to.
Okay. So I will say, I think since March, I only counted 3 non-crime corrected calls. So you were improving. So you at least you're doing something right since our last meeting.
We try. We're gonna try. Our intention is not to get around anything. Our intention is
has been, always been that way, and just consider us, I know all my neighbors.
And and Kirk, maybe someone's gonna speak and speak. I don't know, I'm trying to remember back in March, I don't think the issue was necessarily noise from inside, I don't think it was noise from inside. It was the outside mostly, it was the people, they're saying the crowds outside in your, but I'm glad you're addressing the inside as well, but.
Well, I mean, it's both, but it's also our, the policies and, and again, it's much more of a challenge, way more bridge and tunnel rolling through. Last Friday, 12 girls with glow sticks at 2 a.m. We're putting beers down the tree. I'm sorry, we're closed now. Speaking of which, we do have a 4 a.m. license at Bar.
And I know you said that before, that you don't
We're
stay.
pretty much out of there too. There's nothing but problems there too. Could we do something? Sure, we could. We just don't want it. We don't want that whole style of what happens after even 1 a.m. sometimes.
That's what
And
I said.
is, I know we're going, it's a restaurant, and really what we're looking for is somebody who wants a Karnak after having tapas or whatever it may be, or put sherry or whatever it is on the cheesecake. It's not.
Okay, so I think we have a couple people that wish to speak to this. We'll hear what they have to say.
Pamela.
So, Pamela, we promoted you, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I live in the building, 14-16 Orchard Street. I've lived here for 25 years. I have a bunch of my neighbors also on the line. I wrote you and Ms. Stetzer an email last night, sent it off with a link to a video that I shot this past Saturday, showing you the neighborhood on a Saturday night and showing you how crazy it is. But more importantly, showing you that within 500 feet, there is not a dearth of entertainment options for people who want to come here. I mean, I took the information straight off of Dulce Rancher's questionnaire, SLA questionnaire. There's 21 liquor serving establishments, 8 liquor stores. There's 2 churches or 3 churches, whatever, and 2 schools. And you could see from the video that Carlotta's windows were wide open at 11 p.m. when it states on their questionnaire that they would close the windows at 10 p.m. It's a madhouse. You have stated yourself that Hell Square is uncontrollable and that you're very hesitant. I throw myself at the mercy of this community board to say, err on the side of prudence, because we don't want our neighborhood to become like Hell Square. And, it serves no community benefit to grant another full liquor license. It just doesn't. There's plenty of places already in this neighborhood that serves alcohol. Why do we need one more? Yeah, and I know that I have neighbors. Also, they posted the notice in our lobby. There was no Chinese notice. This is a predominantly Chinese building. I don't know if my neighbors would have been aware if I had not notified them about this hearing tonight. And this has been an ongoing issue between the building and the owners of Dulce Ranger, where, we have no relationship with them. They do not post any of their notices in Chinese. They do not try to outreach to us in Chinese. I know Tommy will say, well, we tried once. It was during the pandemic when they were going up for their license for the first time. They hired someone and none of us in the building came out to them. But, they made minimal effort. There were no flyers. There were no notices. It was just a Zoom meeting and suddenly there was a Chinese interpreter there. And that was it. That was it. And I understand from Tommy's point of view, but for the simple fact that we are the residents of this building, our life is impacted, our quality of life is impacted. It should be incumbent upon them to make the effort. This is a multi-generational building. There are grandparents who live here. There are young children who live here. If you took a look at that video, would you want your grandmother or your child to walk through that crowd?
Yeah. So I do want to point out, they did include their pictures they're posting, and they did post it. It was in Chinese. They used our standard office format that does include the Chinese as well. So I did see. I did see that picture of the posting. I'm just want to clarify that. Also, have you called 311 if there are these issues, or have you spoke with the community board office about them?
I'll leave it to my other neighbors and stuff, but I have called 311 multiple times in the past. This is an issue that's been going on for over 20 years, not necessarily also just with Dolce Rancher, excuse me. But I will tell you that when the 311 reports come back, they'll always say, oh, police came, they saw no problems, they left. And now that Susan has said that the police have no more power to enforce anything, what's the point of calling 311? They've literally have cut the residents off at the knees.
And I understand how frustrating, because I've been in your shoes, and I understand how frustrating it is calling 311, but what I will say is it does at least establish a pattern and a record. Even if the police show up and you get your report back saying, they found no incident, if there are 100 or more of these calls, which we've seen that sometimes, even if they're not addressed, it does show a pattern of something for us, so we can at least use those. And I understand how frustrating it is to call because it feels like nothing is happening, but.
I mean, maybe my neighbors have called, I don't know. But again, like I said, I ask you again, what community benefit does it serve? And again, I ask you, please do not let our neighborhood become like Hell Square. Please err on the side of prudence.
Okay, thank you, Pamela. So we're going to move on to, I think, May. If you want to go ahead and unmute yourself, May, you can speak.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Hi, yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, yes, my name is May. I'm a resident of the 14 Orchard Street, more than 20 years. And I did send the email to the CB3. And also I have the chat on the message on the chat. So the most of the, can you see the chat?
Oh, the chat.
What I sent.
Oh, so the chat, the chat is not, we cannot all see the chat. So I'm sorry, we don't use the chat.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes. As we are the one of the laborers, and it's really, the quality life is being hurt. And we did not receive anything, from the downstairs, the business owners to the attend our concern. And even, the table, the blocking our entrance door, just getting worse and worse. I sent the I sent the email, the photo with the photo. So, however, it's many of the issues. The number two, okay, number one is the table blocking the entrance all the time. And number two is, I don't know why they, since the garbage everywhere, and then, they just bring the huge of the rats, fryers, and incense. It's gonna really getting worse and worse, especially during the summer. And number three, recently has the marijuana takeout truck is parking in front of our entrance. And after that, we just, the huge, like a smoke marijuana, the people, and just make it really sick. Since we have the elderly and the kids live in the building.
Okay.
And number four, then is, I don't know how they gonna to concerning what we concerning about that is the once the legal license got an issue that will be getting, I believe, we have, more drunken people and yelling and then make a noisy even huge,
Okay,
okay?
and
And also we did not see any Chinese on it, since the Lotus has the Spanish on it, English and Spanish. I don't know why they don't put any English, the Chinese on it.
okay,
And also a lot of people asking, they say why the business did not put the sign in front of their business, but whatever, the front.
well, we do have the photos that they were posted.
But we don't see there exactly the business name on it.
Okay. And is that it?
Yes, so that is a really, really, we don't want that anymore. The liquor license for the downstairs, the business. I don't think that's necessary. However, we need that, we don't kill our quality life, getting in noise, please. Thank you so much for your patience.
Yes, okay, thank you, May. Okay. And then I think we have next, Hang. Okay, please go ahead, we can hear you.
Yep, thank you. My name is Hang, and I'm just going to add on kind of what May and like Pamela also said. I've been a resident at Canal Condo with my parents for about over 25 years. I personally have seen businesses that transition through our commercial spaces, and kind of touching upon kind of what everyone said. My biggest main concerns are kind of noise, kind of like cigarette smoke specifically, right? I know that the business can't control specifically like who's smoking. However, with people sitting outside, with summer coming around, it also encourages people to kind of stay out and eat out and smoke outside. Right. So I live kind of above the door of our front door, and I'm my window's diagonally on top of their restaurant. So like they do have tables in front of the restaurant, and I can hear people's conversations throughout the day. I know that the business is ending around I think they said 12, right? But on weekdays, I hear people up to like 11, people are just there chatting up all day and night. And I go to work, I work 9 to 5, I have to get up, and I have my sleep is impacted by this, right? And not even that, like on the weekends as well, it also extends into long hours, and they have bar belly next to it, so like that also extends it, and that also attracts another group of people. So just having two restaurants, with full liquor license, on top of the whole community having so many access to bars and restaurants, is just too much. I just can't find a reason why this is going to improve the community and my life as well as a resident, and my parents as well. And on top of that, right, there's, with the outside dining, tables are also blocking, narrow walkways of places. Sorry, let me finish this thought. And then they're also the way the tables are, they're kind of extended over past our building restaurant. Past our building's front door, so we, from my window, I can literally see all the tables lined up. And I just don't think that is appropriate, because I thought it's supposed to be within their, space of their restaurant.
Okay, so I will just clarify one thing on that. The open dining program as it was is no longer. There's a new program that's changing. I'm not sure if they've applied for the new permits yet or not. The new program is different. There's different rules and regulations they will have to abide by. And again, I'm not sure if they've applied for the permit yet or not, or if they're going to, but the program as it was will have to be ending basically by August, so.
Mm-hmm.
And the outdoor dining is a whole separate issue that really doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about tonight per se. That'll be a separate thing that would come to us if they apply for that later.
Gotcha. And I guess the tie of it is because people are going to be out drinking, right? So like, or drinking, having their drinks outside. So,
Yes, yes, so.
So if somebody applies and we don't have record that they've been out of compliance with their outdoor dining previously, they will be administratively approved. So if you haven't documented and complained that they're not in compliance, they will be administratively approved without coming to the committee.
Because we don't know that there's been issues with their outdoor dining.
It has to be documented.
no problem. I have pictures and I can submit that if needed. But I also want to add something else. I know that there've been some improvement in sounds. There was an incident where my parents, who are not native English speakers, they don't have any real education. They noticed that there was one incident of like the floor of feeling the shakes and kind of the music of it. But they didn't report it because I wasn't home, one, two, and also they don't have access, well, they don't speak English. So I just want to at least bring that up, but for everyone to know.
Thank you, and that's, I mean, you know, we've dealt with that issue in other situations as well, so I do understand where you're coming from, but yes, if there's any, he has said that he's worked, I don't know if he's worked with your parents specifically, but he has said he's been working on the soundproofing.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank you, Heng. Next we have.
That's inside. This is outside.
Yeah. Can you email this
to you? Okay.
And then, so next we have Chen, I'm sorry.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, so yeah, most of my neighbors have said a lot of this stuff already, but just adding on, where we hear noise up until 3 a.m. in the morning, speaking personally, and also for a couple other residents that we've been speaking to as well, noise until 3 a.m. Yeah, you guys close at 11, 12, whatever it is, but you're the ones who are attracting these people to come here, and these people linger around until 3 a.m. What is being done from your end to tell these people to leave? Right? Yeah, you have a sign next to our door saying like, please be respectful of our neighbors, but is it doing anything? No, it's not. Also, like, don't blame the noise on the art gallery a couple stores down. It is coming from you guys, and you already have a license at Bar Belly. What is the need for another one for a restaurant right next to Bar Belly? That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chen. Next we have Tamara.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thanks. So I just wanted to say, you know, I'm not going to repeat all the complaints that the neighbors who live directly above this place are always talking about throughout all the times that they've come to the meetings. I just wanted to flag that, you know, regarding the dangers of creating yet another new liquor license permanent in a place that isn't licensed yet, in an area that's super oversaturated, and you all know how crazy that area, particularly even that block, is. I do feel for the people who live upstairs from these places, and it's out of control. Remember that actually Bar Belly used to be a tapas, it used to be an oyster bar, but then now it's like a club after, and then it became a club after hours or something. And once you have a license in the space, they just can do whatever they want, and it's contributed. There's really no community benefit to any more licenses on that block at all, considering the numbers. The business already with what they have, and the neighbors are very unhappy with the general situation. So I would just want the board to consider that. In addition, you probably remember that last time they came to the board in March, they had a lot of petition signatures that all of their petition signatures weren't even from the people in the neighborhood. I don't think
we took those. That's why there was only 19. I think I counted. I think it was 19. I took off a lot of the ones that weren't from the neighborhood.
Okay, well, I didn't see any on the current. To my knowledge, they don't have people who live in the immediate neighborhood on there now as well. So, but it, just the area is completely crazy and oversaturated. I feel for the people that live in Canal Condo. I'm sure you guys understand that there is no community benefit for more liquor licenses on that block. It's not necessarily personal as far as I'm concerned, although I know that the Canal Condo residents who are here, they are personally speaking about their own situation, but I'm really just highlighting for the board members that it's completely oversaturated on that immediate block, 500 feet, of course. It's ridiculous. It's like a circus there from Thursday to Sunday, and there is no benefits to adding to it or supporting adding to it, unfortunately. It's just a bad situation all around. All right, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, and we hear that. Okay.
Marcel.
So next we have Marcel. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Marcel. So as you guys know, I'm always here for this sort of thing, and I live immediately above. I'm the one tenant that lives above Barbelli and Carlotta, and I've maintained a relationship with Tommy like throughout the years because we've been going back and forth with the outrageous like sound issues and disturbances and noise complaints, and like we've searched every possible, even before you were here, Clint. It's just been outrageous. And finally, it was not until the last meeting after this application was denied twice that there was actually a real attention paid to our concerns about. I've done everything from like suggested to cap the sound. We have so many different disturbances, but what I've always been fighting had been the sound issues under Barbelli. The sound system, the uncontrolled like DJs, and just like back and forth asking, could you please like fix this music, or and it's different DJs. It was just like like unhinged completely. And so finally, it wasn't until last time that they were denied that we had a meeting. And I've always tried to keep things amicable, and I suggested sound engineers, because before sound engineers would come, but then it would just go back to the next day. There was no regulation, at all. So finally, we got to a point where it's bearable, and I'm here to basically address and use this as kind of like reiterating how I've been working on this since 2018 or longer. Susan is very familiar with this before, when Michelle was there. And I just want you to know the amount of time when like situations and problems are to correct them, how long and how invested you have to be. That I had to get even other agencies involved, and then the pandemic came and things followed through, and then you got to do it on your own and come over here and do the 311. I understand a lot of my neighbors frustrations about complaining and nothing ever changed. What I wanted to say is come on the record today to address that, whether they get approved or not. We hope that the change that was done it wasn't solely for the application's benefit, and that they will continue to control their sound system issues. And, I don't have to like baby it and follow up and, do all the work, because it's.
Well, we will reiterate that, and we can, again, if you can let Susan know these complaints, she can assist with that as well.
Yeah, but so I just wanted to come here and say that, because we did amend that, but that's not to say that there's not other. I was just always focusing on the worst of the problems. There is obviously other problems, and since
I really hate to cut you off, but we have a lot. We have 5 other speakers left, and it's getting late. So I'm sorry. We do have to move on. Linda, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, this is Linda. My name is Linda. I'm a residential on top of Barbelli, and my parents and I and my brother, we do live up there for more than 15, we're close to 20 years already. I just want to bring out that I would like to ask the board not to approve them to have another full liquor license, because I don't see what does that benefit our neighborhood, and it have impacted our life quality. My mom's, my brother, and I, we barely are able to sleep at night, get through the nights, because there are people after the bars, after the restaurant has closed, they are not willing to leave. There are people there talking and hanging around. As I said, a lot of my neighbors have mentioned it as well, that there are noises. We still hear people talking until 3 a.m. in the morning. However, yes, the restaurant does close early, and you don't stay open until 3, but these are the people that you attracted to come to our neighbor. And these are the people who's creating the noises, who are smoking outside, smoking weeds. We live on the second floor, nearly just right on top of the restaurant. We are barely, even never, ever open our windows. Why? Because there's people smoking, there's air pollution, there's noises. Even we shut the windows all day, all nights long, we still are able to hear people talking and all the noises they make. So that's all I have to say. I wish there's, I hope this do not approve the liquor license for them, because I don't see that we need another one. As a lot of my neighbors said, we have plenty, we have a lot of already, so we don't need it.
Thank you, Linda. Okay, so I think we have a few more. Oh, no, actually, I thought there were a few more people with their hands up, but I think they already spoke. So, okay, so we've heard from all of the community members. So do you want a chance to respond to that? Can you grab this? Yeah.
Maybe I'll make sound. We actually, the process has been for the last 4 months to get to the open street. Because the sidewalks are now, the architects and just, and they all, and it's also super dangerous. That little junction there, they cut off now and everything turns out fortress. We already had a roof come down, and it's been documented 6 times. I mean, emails and trying to get something to change there. That to me is serious. That's just a matter of time for somebody on a Friday night drunk to get hit by cars back up. But regardless of that, I just feel like, ironically, to what they say is without us, because it doesn't matter what happens, we're going to still be there, and we're going to still act the same way we have been. What I didn't hear is like, my numbers now, I have not heard from any. I'm there 6 days a week. We don't open at 5. I'm there at 12, 1 o'clock every day. You just gotta come walk in and talk to me. And I have not heard from any of these people except Marcel, who's the other one, and Lynn. And I don't, I think we'll get a lot further if they would just talk to me, tell me, they just text us. We're here, I'm a New York City resident, just tell me, I don't want that. And the weed, well, unfortunately, they allow weed in New York, so that's a huge issue. And then all the people. I don't know if they're all ours. I do know we go up to people in front of their building door and say, "Hey, are you with Barbell?" Because there are people that come out of their building, and a lot of young people out there that are talking and smoking weed and drinking out there. So we don't want to get an altercation. They're going to be like, "Hey, we live here." So, but I do think we're very good to policing the fact that we are responsible and we do try. The sound, I agree with, it's been such a process over the years that I do feel hurt, not because what happened here, because I'm sitting tired at 10 to 1 in the morning from, people, and it's not cool. I wouldn't want to live above there. So that's it.
One of the members of the public mentioned that the windows or the front facade door was open past 11 o'clock at night?
Well, we're supposed to go to 12.
No, that's go to 10.
Honestly, to be honest with you, that was a refresh of what he said, but I will tell you, if I have people there at 10 o'clock or so.
No, the windows open.
I know, I'm just saying, but there was nobody in, that's the problem, I don't have people, and if I did, I would, But now it was refreshing, I didn't realize that stipulation, typically it's closed, it is closed as we speak. You know, on the time, these times are gonna be open, there's no way.
Yeah, your windows are supposed to be closed at 10, so
Well,
they're.
that is now, and it's refreshed and all.
So if they're open later, then you need to change that.
Honestly, I would look in the eye and say, just missed it, like that.
That's
I didn't want to happen again.
Okay, so anything else you'd like to respond to?
Thank you.
Okay.
You guys do this.
Job?
Whatever.
Okay.
Civil servants.
So back to the committee now. You know, I'm a little torn about this when he's not asking for an extension of hours. I understand, I hear what the residents are saying. It sounds like some of the issues, at least some of the issues are not necessarily attributed, like the weed truck parking on the street. I don't think he has anything to do with that. You know, they said, you know, that a lot of the noise, a lot of the people are hanging out till 3 AM and they've admitted that you're closed. So they're saying it's not you're closed, but they're saying it's people coming in and hanging out. I mean, if I felt like we were extending the hours, I think that could be contributing to that, but you're not asking for an extension of the hours. No. Simply just changing what you're serving. I don't know. I don't know. What does anyone,
What are the current hours? It's been so long since we started.
The current hours are closing midnight, Sunday to Wednesday, 1 AM.
Thursday to Saturday. Yeah. So he can be open, I mean, he's already allowed to be open those hours.
Yeah, understood.
He admits maybe he had the windows open past 10, he wasn't realizing that, he said he can correct that, but.
You're right, the liquor won't be like the thing that changes.
I mean, it is a small place, I know you're not, it's not like.
It's a restaurant, it is not, I know when you've got here that come here that want to do things like that. As I mentioned, it's a Spanish tapas, you know, that's what it's about, and we really don't have this much at 10:30.
So you don't have security at all?
Yeah, we do.
Or you do?
Oh, two.
You have currently?
Two. On Friday and Saturday, one on Thursday.
Where are those guards stationed?
Right in front of both stores.
Okay, so they're both on the
They're
street.
next to each other, they're right there, and I'm there, my business partner's there, and even last night, Sunday night, not much going on.
So you do have a big street presence.
What?
You and your employees or security guards have a big street presence currently?
Well, we're there, but they're not wearing uniform, but
Yeah.
they're there, and we are so well trained, it's front of where it comes for, and there are many problems you're not aware of. I mean, just that stealing and robbing, and we're watching and protecting our guests. Yeah. I mean, it's the wild west. We get maybe I just pick up a plate or get 7 o'clock on Tuesday.
I very much understand.
It's like.
So here's a question, and are you intending to apply for the new outdoor dining programs?
Yes.
Street seat, the roadbed dining and sidewalk?
Well, I want to get off of it because it's really dangerous. You know, and people don't really know you're that close.
So that's you're going to apply for?
Well, we have one for Bar Valley.
But for roadbed and for sidewalk, you're going to apply for both?
No, well, roadside is you have to have a street post. So that's a major issue.
No.
Roadside. I mean, we're roadside right now. I'm sorry. I meant we open street.
Not the open street. We're just talking about.
We want the open streets to get off of the side. That's what we want. That's a big ask. That's DOT.
But are you applying for outdoor dining? Are you going to apply for the new outdoor dining program to have roadbed dining and sidewalk cafe?
Yeah, but for probably another ask 4 tables. So yeah, 4.
So you're gonna
Just sidewalk.
So just sidewalk cafe for both?
There's nothing on the street.
Okay, so you're just gonna have sidewalk cafe, no roadbed dining,
And we'll close it at 10.
and you'll close it at 10. But I mean, we'll deal with that when you come for that permit. I was just asking for the future because it seems like the main issue, Marcel said you have been working with him, and I guess someone else, there was 1 or 2 other people now that did say that their parents have had noise. inside, but it sounds like you're working to improve that and you would agree to work with soundproofing to prevent noise. So.
Well, we've already put it, I must tell you, sound is there. It is almost impossible to even.
It is.
But we do have a full soundproof for our Carlotta is restaurant, it's background music. There's no DJ, nothing.
Okay, so as far as the outside, which seems to be the majority of what the complaints we heard.
Their doorway, by the way, is wide open clear. There is nothing extended past it. But what I have seen is they do walk by at the end of the service parts. Down there walking on the corner, they cut through to make a shortcut. I mean, that's, you want to go to the corner, which is 20 feet away, you're not gonna, but to walk through where we have a service car, a garbage pail, and stools.
So you have security, and I'm assuming that your stipulation was you would have staff to ensure no loitering crowds on the street. Can you, so that you have a staff person, it doesn't have to be necessarily an extra security person, but staff person to ensure that the sidewalks are clear and there's no crowds and loitering while you're open?
Yeah, that would be me and my business partner. That is the other days of the week for there, which is again busy May, June, July, and August, but we do have security there. Absolutely, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which in 12 years we've never had a fight in the bar. We really,
It doesn't sound like your security needs to be there for the fights, but more for just.
Well, I'm just
managing.
that's what it is. The security system. And again, this is a lot of it, because they're not wrong to these people, but Fridays and Saturdays over there, just.
Again.
No. I'm gonna say this is going on forever.
Yeah.
Most of the things people complain about have nothing to do with this.
I know, that's.
And they're not calling and making complaints about his part.
I know.
And, part of your stipulations is that any outdoor dining has to be closed by 10.
Yeah. So, I think in this case, and I've heard what the residents say, but.
I'll post a sign in there too, honestly, in Chinese, whatever. You have a problem, I'll call me, text me. I really think you got a lot further that way, and I can solve issues like that. That's seriously something.
So. I don't know, what does anyone else, any other thoughts about this?
I personally think a lot of the issues is probably not had in the restaurant. I agree with Susan.
I personally would probably be willing to approve this reluctantly, but I think because you're not asking for an extension of hours, you're not asking really to change anything else, just switching to full liquor. And I hear what they say, we're adding another license, but I think in this case, and I, can't say what the SLA would do, but anyone else have any other thoughts or agree, disagree?
I think the thing we have been talking about is trying to limit things to reduce the outside effect if possible. Again, I don't think it's going to be affecting the outside.
I don't, yeah.
So that's
I don't think that adding this is going to change much, to be honest.
Right, that's what I mean.
And I'm sure we'll hear from residents about that, but
it's the other location.
Somebody need a motion.
I'm not hearing anything opposed to what I said, so I would propose the resolution that would be essentially what they've asked for. I think we might add something a little bit more about possibly maybe another specifics about the sidewalk or outdoor space, but I think otherwise, as they presented it. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and put the stipulations up.
I think that is zoomed in.
That's fine. Okay, so I, Thomas Mendez, as a qualified representative of Dolce Ranger LLC, doing business Carlotta at 14A Orchard Street, agrees to the following stipulations. My license would be a full liquor license, will operate a full service restaurant, specifically a Spanish tapas restaurant, with a kitchen open serving food during all hours of operation. You can check that off. or number 2, kitchen dip. Kitchen open serving food during hours of operation. The hours of operation will be opening no later than 10 a.m. all days, closing by 12 a.m. Sundays to Wednesdays, 1 a.m. Thursday through Saturdays. I will close all outdoor dining allowed under the temporary open restaurants program or any other outdoor uses by 10 p.m. all days and not have any speakers or TV monitors. I will employ a doorman or security personnel, 2 security guards at the doors on Friday and Saturdays. You will install soundproofing. We didn't check that off. I said, you said you worked with Marcel. I think we can address that as something later. I will close any front or rear facade doors or windows by 10 p.m. every night when amplified sound is playing. I want to have DJs, live music. Is there a reason third-party promoted events was unchecked? You're not having third-party promoted events, are you? No. So check off third-party promoted events. Any event in which a cover fee is charged, and you're not having scheduled performances, are you either? No, because you don't have live music. So check off scheduled performances, please. And then not more than 6 to 12 private parties per year. And I think you heard earlier, private party is essentially a full buyout of the restaurant. We'll play on the recorded background music only. You will not apply for an alteration without coming before CB3. Will not seek, it's full liquor. Will not participate in pub crawls or party buses. Will not have unlimited drink specials, including boozy brunches. You will have a happy hour to end by 7. Will not have wait lines, and will have a staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering, noise, or crowds. We'll post the stipulation beside your license and resume. Contact the owner of the number below, and it's Thomas Mendez, 212-464-8031. And then I think, just to address this, maybe under number 18, I mean, we say up above that you will have a staff person ensure that no loitering crowds, but I feel like we need to say something a little bit more just to address, because the main problem is the outdoor space, so. Have a task person tasked with managing the crowds and ensuring the residential entrance is not blocked. So smoking, and I mean, they're mentioning smoking under windows, but you're not allowed to have smoking in your outdoor space anyway, so
No.
I don't know that that's, but just.
Well, no, they'll leave and they'll tell them you can't smoke, and then there's actually a physical sign outside their door, right at that door.
Okay.
And tell them to go across the street if they want to smoke.
Insurance system. Yeah. I guess that's enough. Does anyone else feel there should be something else added in there?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Okay, so is that okay with you? Right.
I don't see any issues. I don't see any issues, Tom.
Okay, so we'll move to a vote. Stephen?
Yes.
Guillermo?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Clint? Yes. Michael? No. John? Out?
Yes.
Okay. Motion passes. Frank, you'll get the stipulations we mailed out to you.
Looking forward to it, Clint.
Try to work with your neighbors because we don't want complaints.
They gotta talk to him.
What?
They do.
Yeah, yes, and they need to work, for the residents on here, please reach out to Tom, but also reach out to Susan at the community board. We haven't heard these issues and it's hard for us to deal with them if we don't know about them.
They need to be documented.
And it's, documentation thing. I know it's frustrating, calling, but you can email as well. Okay.
It's out of stipulation,
Happy if you want.
but it's out of stipulation.
That's right.
So next is 886, which is Tasty Taiwan LLC at 26 St. Mark's. If you are here for this item, please raise your Zoom hand. And just letting everyone know, it's 9:30. We still have about 6 items to get through. So please, members of the public, we'll still allow you to speak, but please try to keep your comments brief. If someone's already said something, please feel free to just say you agree with everything that's already been said, and we will note that.
All right, these folks have all raised their hand, like you said.
Okay, so the people that are here now, we have Jasleen, Michael, Andy C, Michelle Park. Are you all part of the applicants?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to give a quick summary. I'm going to let you have a chance to clarify or explain, and then we're going to move to public, and we'll go back. So this is TC Taiwan LLC doing business as 886 is seeking an upgrade to a full on-premises liquor license in the premises located at 26 St. Mark's between 2nd and 3rd Avenues. This is an application for an establishment of 74 people, 12 tables, 24 seats, serving Taiwanese food during all hours of operation, no televisions, background music only. There are 30 full on-premises liquor licenses within 500 feet per the land map. This applicant has had a beer and wine license at this location since 2019. They've had a full liquor license at 1025 Manhattan Avenue in Brooklyn since 2022. 20 residents who live within 2 blocks of the location signed a petition in favor of this application. They're proposing hours of 12 p.m. opening no later than 12 p.m. all days, closing by 10 p.m. Sunday through Wednesday, 11 p.m. Thursday, and 12 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays. I do have one question. On your questionnaire, you had checked off, either you didn't check off either, or you checked off both for you will not use outdoor space, you will close all outdoor dining at 10 p.m. Which, do you have outdoor space, or are you proposing to have outdoor space?
They do have outdoor space. They're proposing that the outdoor and indoor dining be open on Sunday through Wednesday till 10 p.m. The outdoor space for Thursday till 11 p.m. and Friday to Saturday, 12 a.m.
So we've pretty much across the board and most all of the applicants have actually agreed to closing all outdoor dining by 10 p.m., especially on St. Mark's where it's been an issue in the past. Yes. So will you agree to the 10 p.m. closing of outdoor?
Yes. Oh.
Okay. Andy's the client.
Oh, yes. Hi. Sorry. This is Andy. Hello, members.
I had one other. Nope, that was the only thing I just wanted to clarify from your application questionnaire that I wasn't sure which one, but so you're agreeing to close at 10 p.m. So we'll check that off. So.
If I could just add, we're having the open streets close at 10 also.
Yes, and the open streets on St. Mark's will be closing at 10 p.m. as well, which they're further down anyway, so they're between 2nd and 3rd.
Now, is it the 10 p.m. just the outdoor dining or the indoor dining too?
Just outdoor, just the outdoor dining.
So we can keep the hours of operation, however, we can just stipulate that the outdoor would be 10 p.m. and the indoor can stay till 11 or 12 a.m.
Yes, your Sunday and Wednesday till 11 is your operating hours, and then your 12 p.m. and Friday and Saturday indoor. Outdoor is the only thing at 10. Your indoor is still 11 and 12.
Andy, are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I'm sorry, it's 10 Sunday through Wednesday, 11 Thursday, and 12 on Friday and Saturday.
Right, and that's for indoor, and outdoor is always 10 p.m.
Yes, outdoor will then always be 10 p.m. every night. And you agree?
Thank you. No problem with that stipulation.
Great. So that's pretty much, I've given a summary of your questionnaire and your application. Is there anything else you would like to add or change to what I said?
Well, we thank you so much for your time and patience with us today. One thing we'd like to add that we did not put on our application was that my client would have 1 to 2 buyouts per month, which was not stipulated. So we'd like to make sure that's okay as well.
Yeah, we will get that. We'll include that in, which is, I don't think anyone has a problem with that.
Okay, and besides that, this is we're requesting a full liquor license here. Specifically, it's been in operation since 2018. The method of operation isn't changing. It's just a license upgrade. My client just wants to be able to provide the Taiwanese cocktails. He's originally from there. He goes back to his country, and he just wants the experience to be complete for his customers. And he wants them to see how important and how rich the flavors and the spices are from where he comes from, and he wants a full experience. So that's really what my client's looking for. He wants to be able to make sure he can provide that, as well as abiding by all the policies and procedures as well. And since he's been in operation since 2018, you'll see that there's no 311 complaints, noise control issues, nothing like that.
We've had no complaints. There were no 311s. So I've actually been there. I know it is a legit Taiwanese restaurant. So don't think, I personally don't have an issue with this. We've heard from there are active, there's an active block association, there's active residents in that area, so I think if there would have been concerns, we probably would have heard about them, and we've heard nothing, and I don't think Susan has any complaints about this business. So, and before we go this, is there anyone here from the public that wanted to speak to this item? It was 26 St. Mark's. Okay. So, I mean, I think unless anyone else from the committee have any questions about this? Kira, I know it's your. No. Okay. So I'm gonna make a motion that we're going to move to the stipulations. We'll go through that. This will be, we'll be voting on. So it is I, Andy Chang, as a qualified representative of Tasty Taiwan LLC, located 26 St. Mark's Place.
If I could just say one thing, it's Andy Chang, CHUANG, please.
Oh, UANG, not ANG. Okay, so UANG. Thank you.
Thank you.
My license type is full liquor. I will operate a full service restaurant, specifically a Taiwanese restaurant with kitchen open and serving food during hours of operation. My hours of operation will be opening no later than 12 p.m. all days, closing by 10 p.m. Sunday through Wednesday, 11 Thursday, and 12 p.m. Friday and Saturday. You will close out outdoor dining under the temporary open restaurants program and any outdoor uses by 10 p.m. all days. No speakers or TVs. You aren't having security. You don't need soundproofing. You will close any front or rear facade doors and windows at 10 p.m. or when amplified sound is playing. You will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events, any event which a cover fee is charged to scheduled performances. You will not have more than 2 private parties per month. Now, I think you just mentioned buyouts. What did you say previously?
We just said buyouts, that we would have 1 to 2 buyouts
per month.
Per month.
Okay, so that's fine, and that's what we consider a private event is a full buyout, basically.
And most likely the buyouts will be inside, as my client has informed me.
Yeah, that's fine. I will play on background recorded music only. I will not apply for an alteration without coming to CB3. I will not participate in pub crawls or party buses. Will not have unlimited drink specials, including boozy brunches. Will have a happy hour that 1 by 7. Will not have wait lines. Will have a staff person to ensure no loitering, crowds, or noise. We'll post these stipulations and residents may contact the manager at the number below, and it's Andy Chang, and it's 831-324-3588.
Andy, is that correct? Okay, yes.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
Perfect. Okay, so we are going to move to a vote. Stephen?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Clint, yes. Michael? Yes. John?
See.
Guillermo? Yeah. Okay, so the motion passes. Jasmine, we will be sending out, or the office will send out the stipulation form within the next day or so. There will be instructions on getting it back to the office, signing.
Thank you so much. We appreciate everything.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Okay, moving on. Moving on to number 4, which is Dim Sum Palace at 27 Division Street. The applicant or representative are here for Dim Sum Palace. Please raise your hand, your Zoom hand.
Also raise your hand.
Is anyone here for Dim Sum Palace, which is 27 Division Street? And we didn't receive any kind of email withdrawing or anything from? I didn't see any.
I don't know if they have a rubber.
Just give me 1 second, everyone. And I don't think there's any members of the public here for this item. If you are, please raise your Zoom hand. There, let's see there, they work.
This is Stephanie, not understood.
It's someone that I don't know them.
So we'll try and follow up. This is Stephanie, understood.
So at this point, given that we denied due to not.
Denied due to non-appearance, so we can always change. I'll try and get a hold of them and get them to respond.
Okay, so given that the applicant or no one is here for this item, we do have to just procedurally deny for non-appearance. Again, Susan can reach out if there's confusion, they can withdraw and they might come back next month. So this will be a motion to deny due to non-appearance. Stephen?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Clint, yes? Michael? Yes. John? Sure. Guillermo? Yes. Okay. So again,
What were
Susan,
they looking for?
it's an upgrade. Now, I'll say this because if they do come back, the SLA map shows them as being 197. The door to PS 124 is less than 200 feet. They are measuring, and they showed it on their map. They're measuring it from a recessed doorway, which isn't how the SLA. So what the proposed resolution was going to be, approving the upgrade as they were presenting it. However, we would then request the SLA to determine if they are within the 200 feet. That's not, we'll ask the SLA to do that. That's not something we do for the new people. But the SLA will then go out and take a measurement and say, nope, you're within 200 feet.
They don't have any metric.
No, and it is a full at the gym somewhere. But anyways, for now, it has to be a denial because they didn't appear, so. Okay, that made that one easy. Moving on to the next. Next, we have number 8, which is Jang Kitchen, 65 St. Mark's. Is the applicant or the representative here for 65 St. Mark's Place? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to give a quick summary of this application. And then we will. Okay. 65. Yeah, 65 St. Mark's Place. So this is, Jiang Kitchen is seeking a full on-premises license for the premises located at 65 St. Mark's Place between 1st and 2nd Avenue. It's an application for an establishment of 74 people with 18 tables and 46 seats. Chinese food prepared in a full kitchen area. And I have a couple questions as I go through this, but I'll give my summary first. Serving food during all hours of operation, recorded music at background levels. There are 26 full on-premises licenses within 500 feet. This location was previously licensed for beer and wine to Jules Bistro. The application is currently licensed for wine and beer and would like to upgrade to a full on-premises license. The owner has been a license holder at another location since 2014. We've received no letters or emails in opposition. It doesn't appear. Well, we'll go to that next. 4 residents who live within 2 blocks of the location signed a petition in favor of the application. They are proposing hours of operation of 11 a.m. and closing by 12 a.m. all day, which is, I think, currently what their hours are. And I think that's everything for my summary. Would you like to add anything, James, to what I?
No, okay. my client will call you, but for my position, I'm not. Yeah, everything fine. I'm not adding anything for the.
One question: how long have they been operating? How long have they had their beer and wine license?
2 years.
3 years. Okay, I thought it was a little while. Okay, so I have a question in regards to on your questionnaire. I think there's a little confusion. You have a full kitchen, and is there a food prep area as well?
No. They have a full kitchen. Yes.
Okay. And you are playing simple. It's only recorded background music.
The background music only. Yes.
Okay. I think that is everything. And the one other thing to clarify, I think I said wine and beer for Jules Bistro. However, Jules Bistro did have a full liquor license. I do know that back when they were open. So, okay. So I think you've added everything. Is there anyone here from the public to speak to this item? Okay. So. I mean, they have reasonable hours. I think they are it's a legitimate restaurant. They're not any kind of club or bar. Again, that's. I have anyone else have any members of the committee have any questions or issues with anything on this application? No. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and put the stipulation form up for you. We're gonna read through this just to make sure that everything is correct?
Okay.
So that's the other thing that was, I think, missing from, who is the actual, what is the name of the person that will be signing the stipulation form?
Yes, Yan, Y-A-N, last name F-U.
Okay. And then we'll get to the number at the bottom. So Yan Yan Fu, as a qualified representative of 65 St. Marks Incorporated, located at 65 St. Marks, will be, my license will be a full liquor license operating a full service restaurant, specifically a Chinese restaurant, with a kitchen opens serving food during all hours of operation. Hours of operation are 11 a.m. Can you change that to a.m. instead of ma? to 12 a.m. all days. I will not use outdoor space for commercial use. You don't have security, you're already existing, so I don't think you need soundproofing. You will close any front or rear facade doors and windows at 10 p.m. every day or when amplified music is playing. You will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events, any event in which cover fee is charged or scheduled performances. You will play ambient recorded background music only, will not apply for an alteration without coming to CB3, will not participate in cocktails or party buses, will not have unlimited drink specials, including booze and brunches, will not have a happy hour, will not have wait lines, will have a staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering, will post these stipulations beside your liquor license, and residents may contact the owner or manager at the number below. And that will be Yan Yan as well.
Yeah, the phone
And then-
number 646.
Okay.
361. Hold on one second, hold on. 给我电话，给我电话。
Okay.
Hello? 给我电话，是我电话。
Hi, this is Yan Yan. I'm just gonna give out my phone number if it's okay.
Hold on one second, let's give the phone number. Okay, so is 646-361?
Yeah.
6090.
Perfect. Okay. So we're going to move to a vote. Stephen?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Clint, yes. Michael? Yes. John?
Yes.
Guillermo?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So the resolution passed. The office will be sending you out the stipulation forms to sign and return with instructions. Thank you very much.
Thank you for everyone. Thank you.
Okay, we are moving on to number 12, which is Hen House NYC LLC, 121st Avenue. Two more after this one, and I'm going to be going away real quick. Okay. We are getting them promoted. I will, well, actually, go today. Promoted from Parliament and Parliament advises their representative. to that. Okay, so while Michael's promoting you, I'm going to go ahead and start with a quick summary, and then once we get you here, we can correct anything at the end. Hen House NYC LLC, doing business as Hen House, is seeking a wine beer license in the premises located at 121st Avenue between East 7th and East 8th Street. It's an application for an establishment of 74. You had 17 people check, but I think is your C of O 74 or under? I'm assuming.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it's with an occupancy of 74 people with 5 tables and 17 seats, a full kitchen and food prep area serving food during hours of operation. You did have anything checked off. Are you having televisions?
I have the owner is here. I'm the representative. The owner there is Anthony. I think he's on. He can answer that. I believe that he's just going to put in maybe one television. But if that's going to be a problem, I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem to leave that off.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
If like during the World Cup, you know, it's a thought of maybe putting a TV for some games, but honestly, it's like as it is, we don't have any TVs. It's just for that specific thing, you know, maybe.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put one television. We'll discuss that at the end. So one television, small speaker playing background music. There are 29 on-premises liquor licenses within 500 feet. This location opened as Hen House in November 2023 without a liquor license. This location has housed the previous restaurants, The Tang and Wechsler's, which had beer and wine license both. The chef and proprietor, Anthony Nassif, has never held a liquor license, but has worked in the restaurant industry for over 10 years, including the executive chef at Spotted Pig. We've received no opposition to this, and I don't think you've had, okay, we've had no complaints about this business since it's been open. I think, and the petitions were blank, but this was one that we did receive at the end of the day. Give me 1 second and I can quickly, these were sent to us, I think, but again, they were at the end of the day and I don't think I got a chance to count them up.
Oh, there's only one page, so it's
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9.
And that Orchard Street is not anywhere close. So.
Okay.
There's 2 Orchard Streets, so there's 8.
Okay.
Yeah, 8 petition signatures within 2 blocks. Okay, so there were 8 petition signatures within 2 blocks. Let me just go back to my summary. And they're proposing hours of operation, opening no later than 12 p.m. all days and closing by 10 p.m. Sundays through Thursday and 2:30 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, and it will be closed on Mondays. So I will go ahead and give you a chance to give us a little, just even because you're new, a kind of a summary or what you're proposing for your space.
So we're a fast casual Lebanese restaurant. We do, primarily pita sandwiches, platters. And the idea for the beer and wine was just to kind of, where I was thinking about having making some small plates in the evening time. So it would just be an added revenue center and, would just kind of make it like a little bit more of a nicer kind of dining experience. And I'm kind of, during the evenings, I think, in the area, all the restaurants are extremely busy. And I think kind of the fast casual after 7 o'clock, isn't, it could be busier. So I'm kind of, I'm gonna get some nice plates and have a fine dining background, so I was gonna do some, some like 4 or 5 small dishes. And I think just having some beers and wines could really round out the experience and, make a fun time.
Question about, you've been open since November of last year. Yeah. You're currently open until 2:30? Those are your existing hours?
Yeah, just kind of have some late night eats. There aren't really that many options around. There's like 7th Street Burger, and I think I'm not sure if Electric Burrito is still open. So it's just kind of to have some more options in the neighborhood. I'm from Montreal, so after people go out, Lebanese food, getting some shawarmas is a very big thing, and I think it'd be nice. It's kind of nice to have another kind of option that's healthier in the neighborhood as opposed to just burgers. Yeah, and it's been great. It doesn't get rowdy at all or insane. It's just it's just a nice it's added revenue, and yeah, it's been great so far.
So another question, just to clarify for your here, are your front windows, and I'm trying to envision the space, do your front windows open?
The front windows open, but we don't open them just because the AC isn't so strong, and we don't really have any seats outside. It's just kind of doesn't.
That's fine. If they are operable, we're gonna check off that you will close any doors or windows by 10 p.m. every night, or if we have play.
Yeah, totally.
You don't have to open them, but just because they are operable, we're gonna put that stipulation in. That's a standard thing we do across the board.
Okay.
And the other thing you didn't have on your questionnaire, are you proposing or do you want to have happy hours?
We're probably gonna do. We might have a happy hour special, with some snacks and wine.
Okay, which again we don't necessarily have a problem with. It. It's just something that does have to be specified. So what time would you like that to be until?
7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are proposing happy hours until 7 p.m. Okay. Okay. And I guess just back to what you were saying about the TV, you were saying, you would have maybe one TV that would just be for special events. I know it's a pretty small space, so it's not, I don't think there's big viewing parties. I don't.
Yeah, especially there's a lot of bars where people can go watch the game. It's more for like, some like regulars if they'd want to watch the World Cup when it happens. But other than that, there won't be need for a TV ever really.
And it's fine. I mean, I mean, one TV isn't necessarily turning into a sports bar, so I'm not. It's just we just usually like.
Live in these sports.
Okay. So, is there anyone here from the public to speak to this item? Please raise your Zoom hand. Seeing none. Anyone from the committee have any other questions for the applicant?
You guys aren't gonna have DJs or anything like that, right? Like,
No, there's absolutely no space. Even if anyone ever wanted one, we have no space for anything DJ. We have a little Bluetooth speaker.
Okay. So we're gonna put the stipulations up. This is what we will be voting on when we make a motion for the resolution.
Okay.
And we're gonna read through this just to make sure we're on the same page. Okay, so there we go. I am Anthony Nassif, as a qualified representative of Henhouse NYC, located at 121st Avenue, New York, New York, agrees to the following stipulations. My license will be a beer and wine license. I will operate a full-service restaurant serving Middle Eastern food with a kitchen open serving food during all hours. My hours of operation will be closed Mondays, then Sundays through Thursday, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays, 12 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. I will not use outdoor space for commercial use. You don't have security. You are already operating, so I don't think soundproofing is an issue. You'll close any front and rear facade doors and windows at 10 p.m. every night or when amplified sound is playing. I will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events, any event in which a cover fee is charged for scheduled performances. I will play ambient recorded background music. I will not apply for an alteration without coming to CB3. I will not seek a change. Oh, no, you are beer and wine. So I will not seek a change of class to a full on-premises license without first obtaining approval for CB3. I will not participate in pub crawls or party buses. I will not have unlimited drink specials, including booze and brunches. I will have a happy hour and it will be until 7 p.m. I will not have wait lines outside. Check that off, please. I will have a staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering or crowds. I will conspicuously post a stipulation by my liquor license. Residents may contact the manager or owner at the number below. It's Anthony Nassif, and it's 646-360-4833. Okay, so that is the motion that's on the table. We're going to move to a vote. Stephen Ballinger?
Yes.
Sarah Bachu?
Yes.
Clint Smeltzer? Yes. Michael Lavario?
Yes.
John Bell?
Nom.
Nope.
Nom.
Oh.
What is nom?
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
For the rest of us at home.
And yes, okay. So the motion passes.
Thank you.
The office will be sending out the stipulation form with instructions on how to get it notarized and signed and get it back to the office. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, there's John. Okay, number 16, Bananas, 174 First Avenue. Please raise your Zoom hand if you are the applicant and the representative for Bananas, 174 First Avenue.
Christopher and Frank.
Okay, so I'm gonna give a quick summary and then we'll turn it over to you for a second. Chibake LLC, doing business as Bananas, is seeking a wine beer license for the premises located at 174 First Avenue between East 10th and East 11th. This is an application for an Asian fusion restaurant with up to 74 people, 27 tables, and 75 seats with a stand-up bar and 10 seats. Surrounding an open kitchen, a full kitchen, and food prep area serving food during all hours of operation. 1 to 2 televisions, small speakers playing, streaming background music. Because it's beer and wine, we don't necessarily address the number of full liquor licenses in the surrounding area. Previously, this location was a restaurant with a wine and beer license. The applicant's proprietor, Christopher, has also owns and operates Yo-Yo Sushi on West 31st Street. The restaurant has a wine beer license. The applicant also has experience working in Manhattan Community Ward 3 at Blue Ribbon Sushi. We've received no opposition or support for this application. And I think, is this one of the, do we have the petitions? Yes. Very good. Okay, can you do a quick count? Oh, I just get the list. Michael's gonna do a quick count to get the petition signatures for that. They're proposing hours of opening at 12 p.m. all days, closing by 11 p.m. on Sundays, 12 a.m. Mondays through Wednesdays, and 1 a.m. Thursdays through Fridays. The only other thing that I think was missing from your application, you did not have checked off whether you were proposing happy hours. Are you planning on having happy hours?
Yeah, we would like to try that as an option.
Okay, and that's fine. I just, what time would you like? What time until when?
I think from when we open until 7 o'clock.
7 p.m. That's fine.
Clint?
Okay. Yep. Yes, Frank?
There's a discrepancy on my app that I just picked up. There's a discrepancy between page 2 and page 4 regarding the outdoor dining.
Okay.
Page 2 are the hours that should control, which would be outdoor closes at 11, Sunday and midnight, all other days.
So we kind of do across the board that open restaurants will close at 10 p.m.
Actually, the 59 boards are doing a spreadsheet right now.
Yeah.
And so far.
Is that something that you'll agree to, Christopher, to close your outdoor at 10 p.m.?
But we thought that the hours would be something that would wind up being discussed when we file the dining out program.
No, but that's still a stipulation we're putting on the liquor license that the SLA will uphold is the outdoor dining.
I think Chris wanted the later hours, which is why I'm bringing it to your attention.
Okay.
So,
well, I mean, it's kind of our community work policy, and I think a lot of the other community work policies are doing a 10 p.m. outdoor closing. I know the city does allow on their program till 12 p.m., but we are asking for 10 p.m. on all of our licenses. And that's been, we've had no one.
Nobody's refused.
No one has refused that to this point.
You knew it would be me.
We know it would be you, Frank, of course.
It would be me. Come on.
So, Christopher, is that something you can agree to?
Yeah, we can agree to.
Thank you. That goes a long way to working with us. Otherwise, I don't have any other. Oh, the only other question I had, and I think this was maybe a little confusing. If your occupancy is up to 74 people, you have 27 tables and 75 seats. Your occupancy, and then 10 seats surrounding a bar. Your occupancy has to include your workers as well. So, am I reading that wrong?
I did not know that occupancy needed to include workers.
Yeah.
We can adjust.
Where'd you get the 74 from, Clint?
I think that's what I'm looking back now. I'm just going through the summary, but I think it was from the questions right here. Yeah, it's from your questionnaire.
What page?
Yours too. Your C of O is for a maximum number of 74 people on your questionnaire.
The top.
Is it on page 2? No.
Yeah.
Right, I see it.
Oh wait, but now I see there's something. You have your maximum number of indoor tables is 27. Indoor seats is 58. So you're correct. I had something wrong on my side. The occupancy was correct, but I think it was a total of
If I make that kind of mistake, Chris will fire me.
I think I see the difference. It's
68, right?
So you have 58 seats plus 7 bar stools plus 10 counter seats at an open kitchen. So that's putting you right at the set, that's where the 75 is coming in. But that's not including your staff, so you may just need to take a few seats away from somewhere. That was my discrepancy, why I had it noted.
The question next, what's the maximum number of people permitted? Those are customers.
It's 70, no, your occupancy is including staff. Your C of O is 74, which is total people allowed in the building, no matter whether they're customers or employees.
I just answered the maximum number of people permitted. Okay, I mean, we can work on the numbers, Chris, that's easy.
You just need to, it's just, you know, you just need to adjust your seating, your 58 seats, 7 bar stools, and 10 counter seats. If all of your seating is full, then you have no room for staff, so just adjust that.
Unless they want to go into public assembly.
Yeah.
All right, we can work on that.
So it's a minor thing, but and the SLA would probably have flagged that as well.
So department buildings.
And so will DOE. Anyways, those were my questions. Now I did notice also, you did not check off that you would not have DJs. Are you planning to have DJs?
No.
Okay, then that may have just been missed on the application. We can check that off. Okay. Is there anyone here from the public to speak to this item? Okay, and I guess, sorry, I didn't mean to skip you, Frank and Christopher. Is there anything, I asked you those 2 questions. Is there anything else that you need to correct what I said or clarify anything on the questionnaire application?
I don't have anything else to clarify.
Okay.
Clint, I don't see where it says we will not have DJs.
It's on your page 5 of the questionnaire, where it's the thing at the end. You did not check off, I will not have DJs.
I'm looking at question 8.
It's question 8.
Have DJs.
I'm looking at.
Checked on.
I'm looking at.
And we're looking at. I think that.
No. You are correct. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong application. I was looking at the previous application, doing too many things. I have people here correcting me too, Frank. Sorry. So
it's a lot of cases, Clint.
So thank you. So yes, the DJ is not an issue. I was looking at the wrong application, and I'm closing that now. So there are too many First Avenue applications is a problem. So everything so is there anything else other than that? Is there anything else you wanted to correct and add? Okay. Move to anyone from the committee have any other questions or comments about this item? No. Then I'm going to make a motion that we will move to the stipulations. Put those up on the screen. It is Christopher, and sorry? Angie is what win, right? Isn't it?
It's pronounced Ang. There's as if
I was corrected by this once before in a meeting, and so it's Christopher N as qualified representative of Chimbach LLC, doing business as Bananas, located at 174 First Avenue. Agrees to the following stipulations. My license will be a wine and beer license, operate as a full service restaurant, specifically an Asian fusion restaurant, with a kitchen open and serving food during all hours of operation. Hours will be Sundays, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m., Mondays through Wednesdays, 4 p.m. to 12 a.m., Thursdays and Fridays, 4 p.m. to 1 a.m., Saturdays, 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. I will close all outdoor dining allowed under the open restaurants program at 10 p.m. I will close any front area facade doors and windows at 10 p.m. I will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events. Any event which a cover fee is charged. Will not have scheduled performances. And then I think there was something listed as TBD for the private parties. Are you planning on having private parties, which would be a full buyout of the restaurant?
I'd love to.
I don't think we have we don't generally have a major problem unless you're doing them 6 nights a week. We usually just put a number in there. Is this something you're thinking about once a month?
Chris, is it like 2 to 4 months, something like that?
Or some people give a number per year. They'll say 12 per year or 18 per year. That way, whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, I think 12 per year. Yeah, once a month would be fair.
Okay, if you're comfortable with that, that's fine. So 12 private parties per year. I will play on the recorded background music only. Will not apply for an alteration without coming to CB3. will not seek a change in class to a full liquor without coming to CB3, will not participate in pub crawls or party buses, will not have unlimited drink specials, will have a happy hour ending by 7, will not have wait lines, will have a staff person responsible for no loitering, noise, or crowds outside, will post the stipulation by the liquor license, and residents may contact the owner at the number below. It's Christopher Eng, and it's 347-206-7891. Everything correct on there?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna move to a vote. Stephen?
Yes.
Sarah? Clint, yes. Michael?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Guillermo?
Yeah.
Okay, motion passes. Frank, the office will be sending out the stipulations with all the instructions.
Thanks for your patience, guys. Have a good month.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you and good luck.
Okay, now we have one more item, which is Taraji Resort Incorporated, 218 East 9th Street.
Is that the one that was withdrawn?
No, that was 412 and 414, but I just need to check something because I think this was one that I emailed about. I think this was included in the stipulations, and I don't think, or the petitions, and I don't think they wrote that.
That one where there are no petitions?
Good evening, guys.
Yes.
Hey, good evening.
Hello. So before we start, I sent an email out this afternoon at about 1:36 to be exact, and I sent it to the application, the email that was on the application. We do not have any petition signatures from your application.
That is not correct. We have sent it probably multiple times.
Okay, I sent an application to, and it was, I'll give you the email address. I think it was your email address, but it was the one that was listed on the application asking for the petition signatures. If you have them, we can accept them now, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have them right now. I'll send it to you.
But you never sent them before.
It's in the package that I have, which is shared with the community board.
No, this is the community board.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure who sent them, but we didn't receive any of them.
It was sent separately. I think there was a delay, and Ria, my assistant, got a permission from the community board to send it.
When did you send it?
Let me see.
Either way, if you can please.
Well, I'm gonna go look.
Yeah.
When did you send it?
Let me go through the email. My apologies.
Yeah, I sent an email this afternoon to licensing@kawasakilaw.com.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody answered.
And I didn't get a response back.
Really?
Yes.
KawasakiLaw.com, right? What's the first name?
It was licensing at KAWASAKI law.com at 1:36 today.
I have that email.
I mean, that was just the email I took from the application was the only way I had to contact someone, so.
It's not even in the spam folder.
Regardless, can you please send them now?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you right now. Where's that email chain? Hold on.
What is the address?
He's looking. What address to what?
It's the address of the business.
It was licensing at Kawasaki.
No, the address.
Oh, sorry, address. It's 218 East 9th Street.
East 9th.
218 East 9th. He's looking for an email chain that he says he sent to the office and they said he could.
Oh, look, 218 East 9th Street.
Yeah, 218 East 9th. So, okay, well, since you have the petitions, that changes things. If you didn't have petitions, you hadn't fulfilled the requirements of the application, we probably would have asked you to withdraw. But if you have them, you can send them right now. We can take a look at them while you're summary.
Okay, I don't know which chain it is, but I'm gonna just send it to you, Susan, Edwin.
Yeah, Susan's looking at that. Doesn't matter what Susan's looking for now, but please send them to me. It's just the SLA chair at cb3manhattan.org.
Just SLA chair.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, not the, it's SLA chair. At,
No, the.
It is SLA chair.
I'm gonna just send it to you, Susan, if that's okay.
Okay, so while you're doing that, I'm gonna kind of start to give a brief summary.
Thank you.
And we can then count up the petitions once we receive them quickly. Okay, so EOG Incorporated doing business to be determined is seeking a full on-premises license for the premises located at 218 East 9th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues. This is an application for an establishment of 74 people with 20 tables and 60 seats operating as a full-service Japanese barbecue grill. They have a full kitchen serving food during all hours of operation, using ambient recorded background music. There are 25 full on-premises liquor licenses within 500 feet. The applicant is Kenji Hiroi, has operated several other locations with full on-premises license located in Manhattan. They're proposing hours of operation from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. daily.
He sent in his questionnaire package.
Oh,
That's why nobody saw.
I thought I looked at the question. It's not. I don't see it.
I don't see it, but I don't think papers.
Okay. Was there a revised questionnaire, Susan? Because we didn't see them in. It's not on the one in the middle of the questionnaire.
You guys see it?
We do not see it.
It is not in this one.
Did you send a revised version at some point, maybe?
Yes, Ria did. Yes, my assistant did.
So that's what happened. I think it maybe just didn't quite get uploaded to the website, which is what we were referring to, but.
Okay.
No, but we're looking at what we just opened from the website, Susan. It's not on there. Okay, that's fine.
This application should be expedited.
Well, I think part of the problem was that we didn't have petition signatures, and that's why I thought it was gonna be full page. But anyways, sorry.
Okay, I found it. It was sent on June 10th.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it.
We found it. I think there was just a confusion that there was a revised questionnaire sent that included the petitions, and then there was some confusion in getting that to us. So that's fine. Susan's printing them out now. We're moving on from that aspect. That's not an issue.
Okay.
At this point, I don't think, yeah.
Yeah, so Toraji is taking over current business, Yakiniku West. Yakiniku West has been in operation since 2001, and the method of operation is gonna stay the same. And the closing hours is gonna be at 12 a.m. daily, so we shouldn't have any issues.
Wait, you said the closing hours are 12 because on your questionnaire you got 12:30.
Literally, that's the question.
See, it's not the one online.
Is that 12:30 for the kitchen?
Yeah,
that might be a mistake. Well, if you have 12:30, 12:30 is great.
He had 12:30 on the application.
Okay, 12:30 is great.
Again, I don't know that any of us feel strongly that 12:30 is a problem. That's not late. I think we're okay with that.
Yeah, this is a real question.
And it is a real, I think we're all convinced. And I think that's probably the only difference from the previous business is they might have been 12 o'clock and you're 12:30.
Right.
Okay. So that being said, is there anyone here from the public to speak to this item? I don't know if there's anyone left, but no. Okay. So that being said, is there anything else you wanted to add to the brief summary that I gave? It's not a very complicated application, so.
So the happy hour is we're gonna have happy hour until 5 to 7 p.m. And if we could have private parties.
Yes, you had on the application, you had happy hour till 7 p.m. And then how many private parties were you proposing? Because that wasn't on it.
Can we request 5 times a month?
5 times a month? Okay.
It's just for corporate events.
Just for you, if you heard earlier, private party is a full buyout of the entire restaurant. It's not like having a birthday party in a section or something. It's a private party is a full private event where you're a buyout.
We understand. We want to have the ability to, host events.
Okay, that's fine. And no, what's she doing? Oh, did you come through? We just need to do a quick count of petition signatures to add in.
Of course.
Okay, we're gonna do a quick count of the petition signatures while I'm gonna put up the stipulation form and we're gonna start going through that, which is what we'll vote on at the end, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay.
Okay, so it is I, Kenji Hiroi, as a qualified representative of EOG Inc., doing business as Yakiniku West, located at 218 East 9th Street. Here's the following stipulations. My license will be a full liquor license. It will operate a full service restaurant, specifically a Japanese barbecue grill with kitchen and opening serving. You have a full kitchen though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's with a kitchen open and serving food during all hours of operation. And your hours are 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. every day. You will not use outdoor space for commercial use. You will have a closed fixed facade with no open doors or windows, except your entrance doors are closed by 10. You will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events, or any event which a cover fee is charged. You will not have scheduled performances. Check that out, please. Thank you. And not more than 5 private parties per month. You will not have TVs. You will play ambient recorded background music only. You will not apply for an alteration without coming to CV3. You will not participate in pub crawls or party buses. You will not have unlimited drink specials, including review brunches. You will have a happy hour which will end by 7 p.m. You will not have wait lines outside. You will have a staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering, noise, or crowds. You will post this stipulation beside your liquor license, and residents may contact the owner manager at the number below. And it is Kenji Hiroi, and it is 929-527-4296.
That is correct.
Okay. So that is the resolution that we are going to vote.
I'm sorry. Can I go back?
Yeah.
My apologies.
No problem.
I missed the biggest part. The applicant's name is different. EOG is the current owner of the premises. The applicant is Toraji Resort Inc.
Okay, hold on 1 second. It's Taraji.
No.
Who's the representative?
The representative is the same. Hiroi.
It's the same?
Applicant's name is different. EOG Inc. is the current licensee.
But so what is so is the applicant, who is the person representing? So EOG is the old business, so we're going to change that. I'm just looking at your application to the SLA now to make sure you have it correct on there, and you do. I think it was just maybe on the questionnaire, but so Taraji Resort Inc. is the corporate name, but who is the person representing that will sign for that?
It can be either Kenji Hiroi or the owner, which is Shion Kim.
So Kenji is a representative of Taraji Resort Inc., correct?
That's correct. He's the officer. He's one of the officers.
Okay, so that's what we had in the questionnaire. So we'll just use that if that's okay. And then Kenji is okay with signing that at the bottom then, signing the stipulation? Okay. And then we changed on the stipulations, and I do see on your application of the SLA, it is correct. The company name or the corporation name is Taraji Resort Incorporated, so I think we're in sync now. Cool. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay. Everything else looks good, then we are ready to move to a vote. Stephen?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Clint? Yes. Michael?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Cameron? Okay, motion passes.
21 signatures, 1 in the building.
Okay, so there were 21, so we just did a quick counting of signatures. The ones were 2 blocks, it was 21, and 1 was within the building. So we'll list that in the resolution as well.
Unfortunately, I couldn't count Funky Town St. Mark's. Address.
Okay, that being said, the motion passes. The office will be sending you out the stipulations with instructions on signing, notarizing, and getting the return.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you for your time and hard work.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, that actually wraps us up. I'm gonna do a roll call vote to adjourn. Stephen Ballinger.
Yes.
Yeah. Sarah Batchor.
Yes.
Clint Smeltzer, yes. Michael Labario. Yes. John Fowl.
Effective immediately.
Gary Mills. Yes. Okay. Meeting is adjourned. Stop the recording, please.
This is mine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have a report for tomorrow night or?